Hey, we back. We told you we're gonna get this shit cracking, cuz. Hold on, let me set everything up. I'm waiting on everybody to get in this joint. But let me set some stuff up real quick. All right, this did. Close that out. Let me close some of these screens out real quick. Okay, that's it. Boom. Okay. Should be live right now. I might have to close this out. Got it. Okay, 15 right there. Hey, Rob, about 15. Let me get a 50 time load. Hey, Rob, about 15.
Right
Let
back.
me see how I can make oh yeah, only gotta do one thing and then we really can start cracking heads, man. Like, hey, you know what? I found a lot of shit about that. I've been researching all day, man, on that Stephanie Sinclair. Gotta find out her husband is damn suited. He owned a whole damn airport. He was flying planes and a mechanic on planes, and he was a multi-millionaire back then. I got a couple pictures with him with the fez on. And I was like, what the fuck is this shit? And then, I found season 2 of that Godfather. It ain't on Netflix. They only got one season on there. I found the season on YouTube, the second season. And I'm like, man, now I'm starting to figure out what the hell is going down now, man. Who Bumpy Johnson was a man. That was a big dude. Like, not talking about not like fat dude, but like big as far as the money and the connections and power that he had. You know what I'm saying? And it goes back to that lady, that Sinclair lady. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That lady was a damn man. Man, it's just started. They lying about something about they lying about something about New York, man. It's something big about New York. They lying about the city. You know what I'm saying? I mean, not the city and the state. You know what I'm saying? It's something bigger than what we know. I think he said this right here got some Native American ties to that lady Sinclair. I believe she was like the Parliament princess. Her husband or something was like the king or some of New Amsterdam, right? And I'm starting to, man, I almost got their ass though. I'm gonna finish that Bumpy series. I'm gonna do a little more research, but I think I pretty much got him. She was like a powerful piece on the board. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Queen, the Madam Queen, Saint Stephanie Sinclair. He was a powerful
Yeah.
queen piece. Mm-hmm. Getting it set up right now. Yeah, we're gonna just confess. Like you said today, you're gonna tell them about some times where you got hustled, right? Or you got played. They pulled a fast one on you. I got a couple stories too that I'm gonna tell about how I got hustled, man. Because I'm telling you, people that do drugs when they smoking crack or smoking like doing hair run or some type of drug that they gotta have in order, to stay not get sick or whatever. Man, they come up with all type of game. Them people that smoke crack back in the day, they come up with all day. They run more game than anybody. Anybody I ever met, they run game.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
I had my uncle cheese bait when I tried to hustle, do my little hustle back then. That nigga stole some steaks out of Big Mama freezer and then try to come around there and sell them to me. And I bought them, but man, his wife saying ended up coming back around there. And I had those steaks on the grill, man, cooking them. I already was cooking them, getting my mouth watery and everything ready for those steaks back in the day, right? And she knocked on the door because he said, man, I drove 20 miles on this bike. I rode 20 miles on this bike to get down here, man. You think I came to run some game on you? He said, look at the price on these steaks. You know what I'm saying? Like $18, $15 on he had four packs of steak. And then he said, man, you think I rode about that bike 20 miles down here, all the way from Big Mama house just to come down here and hustle you, man? All I want, man, is give me a 20 for all of it, man. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, if shit, well, even if my cousin don't come out, he like, man, cause D usually get up my cousin D. They were gone to end the time. He was like, cause we lived in the country, right? And then he was like, man, D always get him, man. So I was like, man, well, shit, D don't get him. I'm gonna get him anyway, cause I get D $20 out of his shit, you know, just to I give him $20 back for these steaks with the 18 now that they're there. So man, I got the steak from the nigga. He drove off, and then when he rode his bike off, right? And then we had a George Foreman grill in the trap, man. So I seasoned them bad boys up, put them on a George, had them in there steaming, had the whole house, put some onions in there on that joint, had the whole house stinking right on the steak, right? Man, I heard a knock at the door that sounded like the police, like blue, 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 like somebody about to kick that joint in. I was like, man, who the hell is? I look out of it, it's Sand. Sand is Cheese Bait wife, my uncle wife, like my auntie. Man, she bust out the door, she bust up in there. Did Cheese just bring you some steak down here? I said, yeah, I'm cooking, I'm whooping it up right now. Like, them big mama steaks. He's throwing my big mama freezer because down the country, people keep their ice box or their fridge, they deep freeze outside, like on the carport, on the side of the house, right now. Because really nobody jack nobody in the country, man. It's like everybody know everybody. Where you gonna go with the shit? Where you jack? Because nigga gonna tell on you, right? So he jacked those steaks, man. I was down there cooking them. Sand walking there and pulled a steak off the jars, man. Say she took my steak that I was cooking, man. And the other steak. And said, if you got something to say about it, I'm gonna call the police and tell them what y'all got going on now.
Oh no.
I said, man, you can have it, man. I didn't know they were big bubble steaks. So I got hustled out of $20, man. I got bait, man. I'm telling you, the people that smoke, they got a good way of hustling you, man. They got some game. They come up with all kind of game just to get a hit of that crack, man. I'm telling you. And that's hey, I've been gamed a couple times, man. That's just one. I got a whole bunch of stories I can tell you how I learned. But like I say, I ain't last 2 weeks up in that game, man, because I got a good heart in my because I can't. If you take me a sad story, I'm gonna give you all the shit. I'm gonna give it to you for free. I didn't last long, man, because I gave all my shit away. My cousin, man, you always crediting all your stuff out. You ain't gonna never make no money. Yeah, man, because they come with those sad stories. That game, they come with that game, man. It's hard to get around. Yeah.
Damn. Sad story. Get a nigga with a good heart every time.
Every time, man.
Unless you wise up.
Yeah.
Wisdom helps prevent all of that getting got. And a nigga don't like when you wise up because they can't get you no more.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Co-host.
I'm like trying to hold off for a minute because I don't want to just start breaking up on them as soon as I start talking about things. You know, I'm gonna lose my signal and all that crap. So
yeah.
You know, I'm trying to hold on for a minute. You know what I mean?
We get time to come in. Give them time. I'm gonna see how many people we got.
Let you go in.
Okay, all right, yeah. I'm gonna see how many people we got up in this joint, man. Hey, ride by to everybody in the building, man.
Yeah, ride back to the family, man.
And like I say, I'm gonna post me and 15 Cash App in the links. Don't do the super chat, just send it directly to us. And we appreciate all your when you send us the donation, we appreciate you. And if we see it, we'll shout you out. But yesterday, for some strange reason, I think Cash App was like a delay on it or something. So after we got off, I didn't see nobody that sent me the money until after we got off. So it was a weird thing yesterday. So if we see you today, if it don't delay, or I kind of like trying to check mine every now and then to see if anybody did it, and we'll shout you out. And maybe if you got a statement or something you want to make, we'll complete your statement. Hit that subscribe button, like button, like we say, in the bell.
And I want to thank the brothers that sent sorry for cutting you off.
Go ahead.
I just want to thank those brothers that sent yesterday. That was highly appreciated, man. And thank you from my heart, man. Thank you. Go ahead, young elder.
Yeah, like for the people that coming on, man, I'm posting it right now. If you want to send us a donation, we take $1, $5, $10, whatever you got. Because everything helps. But keep my wife off my back, so I can just sit up here and do this. I know 15. He doing the same. Like, and then it sure feel good to get paid just to a couple dollars just to speak. You know what I'm saying? That way, people showing you some love or whatever. And I mean, I don't give a damn if I get paid or not for it, because I'm gonna do this regardless. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm gonna do this.
don't get it twisted, family. We don't worship money.
Yeah.
We do not worship money. So we just appreciate the love. We know people listening and they appreciate what we're saying when they do exchange something. However, everybody can't talk to us at this point in time. We used to open the doors and let everybody come into the class and talk, but then that got sabotaged by people that have huge egos. So we got to put a stop to that. And I, for one, wanted to say the only reason why I ever got mistreated and misled or got for some change in the past is because of my own ego. I had to learn how to not be egotistical about not being able to get tricked. Therefore, I would have never gotten tricked. I didn't think I could be tricked when I was a young man. So I got tricked several times. Right back, Big Brother 12.
Yeah, right back.
Oh, right back, bro.
Yeah. Hopefully it don't cut off on me, man. I'm gonna tell y'all one quick one real quick, and then I'm gonna take a little.
You clear right now. Go ahead. You
clear. All right. Before I go into the deeper technology game, I was coming out of this check cashing place one time after I had cashed my check, and as soon as I came out of that joint, I seen a dude over with a little cardboard. He had a little cardboard piece he was holding in his hand, and he was doing the ball under the cap, and he was putting like a little paper ball. He was rolling it, putting it under like bottle caps, and he let a couple dudes win, right? So I'm looking around going, I'm watching, you know how they do, right? You'll be watching somebody else lose, and you be going, man, I knew that. Like, what they do is they played me, right? I was like, I watched for about 5 games. I wasn't gonna play. Dude said, man, you want to get in on this? I was like, nah, I'm good, right? My wisdom was telling me, don't bother. Man, when I seen one dude lose, and the dude that lost was part of the trick. He was part of the game. I didn't know that until I got involved in the game and got. Now, he let that dude, he let him win one. Second game, he lost one. Third game, he let another guy win one, and then he let that dude back out. So that dude kept the money. Then another person got on, and they lost, but I was watching, and the ball ended up being under the cap that I was watching. So he had me tricked into thinking that this was a fair game. So I'm like, okay, all right, I won that one, right? Without even playing. So I know if I play, I ought to be able to win. That nigga got me good, bro. Oh man, guess how much it costs to play just one? $50. I just got paid. I was making a nice amount of money. So I didn't care, I was like, I'll come up, took a gamble. Sure enough, lost the first 50. Was looking at him going, wait a minute, hold on, wait a minute, right? I said, all right, run it back. The nigga said, if you run it back, it's gonna be what do you say, like double or some shit, right? So man, excuse my language, family. It's gonna be double or some stuff. So I was like, all right, well, I had to bet 100. Got me again. I was like, man, something ain't right. Like, it was too easy the first time. It was too easy for me to pick this ball when I wasn't playing. Now I'm playing and I can't pick the ball. Like, what's going on? Bet it back. Lost again. I was like, all right, I see what's going on here, right? I said, I gave the dude a handshake. I said, you got me. shook his hand. I said, take this money I gave you and feed your family, brother, because I know you wouldn't be standing out here if you wasn't trying to feed your family. And I backed off. When I backed off from a distance, I seen all three of them dudes that was suckering me. I seen them for what they was then. Couldn't see that stuff right up close, man. So as I'm walking and getting in my car, the guy says, hey man, what's your name, man? I was like, man, I'm name Anthony. He's like, oh man, you a cool dude, man. I ain't never met no brother like you, man. He said, look, man, if I ever run into you again, man, we'll take you out, man. We're gonna go out for some drinks or something. I'm thinking to myself, yeah, okay, yeah, it's whatever, man. Just feed your family, bro. That's if I didn't look at it like that, a black man feeding his family, I would have got highly upset and try to circle around the block, come back and try to take everybody for what they got, see, by force. And that would have done nothing but resulted in murder or getting murdered or going to jail. Either way it goes, I'd have lost. Because when you kill your own, you lose. When you get killed by your own, you lose. That's a lose-lose situation, man. So I just let it go. That was one of the many times I got. And that happened to me about 12 years ago, man. And since then, I never let it happen to me in that fashion again. Okay. Whoo, buddy. I got to go into the Brady trials. I got to talk about the Brady trials because that nigga got me for a whole year. But I ain't going to talk about that exactly at this moment. I'm going to let about another 30, 40 minutes go by before I start speaking on that. Because I'm going to just be truthful. Ain't no hate in my heart towards anybody that got me, man. It's a learning experience. I took it on the chin. In boxing, bro, you got to take them on the chin. You got to be ready to come back with something. You know what I mean? You can't keep getting caught with the same shot. You feel me? So, yeah, I had to move on, man. And I got wiser as I got older. Now I see that stuff coming from a mile away, man. I don't touch it with a 20-foot pole, bro. Any of y'all got something y'all want to share?
Hey, yeah, man, I got hit with that same trick, man, and it mostly be those gypsies. That's why they use the word gyp. You got gypped, right? Every time the state fair come to my town, it's these guys that come in town with the state fair that be at the gas station, and it's this one game, man. I don't know if you played this game. It's another type of gyp game where they put these balls in the cup. You gotta throw them in this box, and then whatever numbers they land on, they add the numbers up. And if the numbers add up, you hit this number. But what they don't tell you is the numbers that they got in their box is automatic gonna never be the right number because of the way it's set up. And so and then you can pay $50 to throw the first couple balls. Boom. So I did that shit, right? But one dude hit his ass though. One dude hit his ass for like 7 or 8 racks. I'm gonna tell you how. Hey, all right. He hit me for like 150, man. I was like, and that was like all the money I had. I was real hurt about that, man. I was like, man, this nigga. It's like it's like you are. They put you on the bait to where it look like you can win so easy. But then when you get into the game, you find out, oh shit, this shit rigged. You know what I'm saying? It makes it look like you can win. So if you put the balls in this cup, and you shake it up and throw them in this little tray with the numbers in the bottom, and then he add the numbers up, and if it come up to a certain number on his list, you can get paid, right? So I lost all my money on that shit, right? But there's this one dude, this dude I know that's a big timer in my city. He have a lot of money. He be having 20, 30 racks on him, right? He actually got that dude. He actually beat that dude for a lot of money because he kept on playing. Now how the dude told you $50 to start, then you got to pay double, then double. The dude kept on going. He had enough money to keep on going with him to where he actually won. That nigga hit him for like 7 racks. He hit the dude for like 7 racks. Then I saw him pack up his shit. Then the dude got the hell out of there after that. But I bet he had a roll real thick, man. That dude, when he was putting out the money, they show you the money too. Like when they hustling you, they'll show you the money. Like this is all the money you can win. Like I got the money, you can win right here. They show you the rod. But then I'm gonna tell you, some of them dudes, they be having a dude over there with a gun, just in case he's gonna get robbed. Like I think you talked about that the other day. They be having yesterday, right? They be having a security dude right there. They be having like 2 or 3 people that's part of the scam, and they all making big bread. And he come to that same fucking store every year, man. I say, I ain't never playing this game no more, man. Because it looked like you could win. And it's like you almost had it. It's like that commercial when they got the little dollar hanging. And they say, oh, you almost had it. You almost got it. That shit damn fuck with you, man. So it's like, I done got hustled like that. I done got hustled when I was in the game. I got hustled to cut. I learned my first rookie in the game, and I only lasted like 2 weeks before I just said, you know what, this ain't my game. You know what I'm saying? One time, the food stamp card trick, man. The food stamp card trick. Deception is the high, man. Deception is at its highest level when it come down to in the game, especially in a dope game, other games, like games that's really, you know, like the criminal game. Deception is at its highest point, man. Like I had people come to me with food stamp cards and say, hey man, I got like about $200 on this card. All you gotta do is hook me up with a little something, man. And you go, all you gotta do is go up there and get your groceries. Man, I did that one time for a dude. Actually, I got twice like that, man. You know, because the first time it was somebody like I ain't really know that good. Then the second time it was somebody that like my cousin, like my own family member that did it to me. That's how I got twice on it, right? But the first time I got, I gave him the shit. I went to the store. I was at Brookshire's. I had all my groceries up there on the thing. The lady rang them up. I swiped the card. Nothing. I swiped the card again. Put the number in. I said, I wonder if they got the right card. Come to find out, they had canceled the card and ordered another card. They had already, when they gave me the card, as soon as they was walking out, they had canceled that card before I could even get to the grocery store. So I got played like that, man. The next time, there was nothing on the card. You know what I'm saying? I got there, put all my food up there, got ready to swipe it. So I ain't got like that again. I learned. I say, okay, all right, let me call this card before I go up there to see if any money on it. And then you know, I start, hey man, I'm about to go up here, you gotta take me to get the groceries first. And once I get the groceries, then I give you the shit. Cause you gotta in the game, man, it's so many ways you can get played. It's so many, and that goes for any, like a lot of stuff. In the game, it's a lot of ways you could get played unless you go to game, man. That's one incident that happened to me. I had another guy that said, one guy came to me, he said, hey man, you think I'm gonna run game on you, man? They always, then they want to see, some people see how scared you is. Like the first time, one time I got played, I used to pull, like when somebody come to buy something, I pull all of them in my hand, say, hey, pick out the one you want, like that, right? Pick out the one you want. And so one day, my first day hustling, that my cousin had hooked me up to get me on, because my dad had told me, because I wasn't selling nothing then. I used to just hang around them, and just be around them. My dad told me, man, when the police come, you're gonna get the same charge as them. Because you hanging out with them. It's called conspiracy, right? You get the same charge as everybody else. So you got two options. My daddy, he always give you two different. He always tell you the ins and the outs. He don't never just tell you don't do it, don't, because he already know like how the brain work, how kids are, and how niggas are. You tell niggas don't do something, they gonna do just what you tell them don't do. You know what I'm saying? That's how niggas is. So he said. So my dad, he always give you two options. He always say, all right, you can do two things. You can get the hell out of here and go, and because you a good kid, you ain't like these boys. I raised you. I know you ain't like these boys. Cause my daddy, he a real gangster for real. But he had 99 years of life. He ended up giving his time back and getting out in Angola. So he do all the tricks and trades. But he had told me, he said you can do you got two options. You can get that, you can get the hell off from down here and go back and get to your job and do what you do. Don't because you ain't no damn dealer. You ain't got this type of hustle. You a hustler, but you ain't got this type of hustle. Like to be hard, because he knew I had a good heart, right? Because I was giving out he knew I had a good heart. So he like, this ain't really your type of game. But so you can either leave and get back to your game, get back to what you do, or you can stay down here and you can get you some shit and you can start making some money. So because my cousin them, they was buying me all like food and stuff down there because I was hanging out with them, right? And eventually people get you can do what you call wear out your welcome. Let's say you go to some people's house to live and stay. You go to some people's house to stay. And if you ain't contributing, eventually you can wear out your welcome. That's another part of the game. You can wear out your welcome on some people, man. They start to feel a certain type of way. Like, man, I'm gonna get rid of this nigga, man. I'm about to pay all this for him. I always had to do this for him. He ain't doing nothing for himself, right? So niggas like that, they try to get rid of you real fast. After a while, you wear out your welcome. So I didn't want to wear out my welcome at my cousin them house. So I decided to get me some stuff and try to get in the game. And the first thing that happened to me the first night, I had all my shit in. Somebody drove up. My cousin like, man, go handle it. Go. That's how you could make that right there, right? So I ran out, right, and stuck my hand in the car and pulled all my shit in my hand and say, hey, pick out the one you want. He gave me the money, right? So I got the money put in my pocket. So I pulled all my shit in my hand and stuck it through the car. In the car, I said, hey, look, man, pick out which one you want. And when he looked at me and then looked at my hand, hit my hand like that and drove off. Took all my shit. I tell you, I ain't last 2 weeks in that game, man. He took all my shit, hit my hand in the car, so all my shit fell in his car. He just drove off. Nigga named Reggie, man. Reggie, I'll never forget that. Yeah.
You automatically, when you get in those games, big bro, when you get in those games, you got to accept the most drastic measures way before they even occur, so that when they occur, you don't have no problem executing Order 66. Trust me, bruh. I could never get involved in that because I already knew how far I was gonna have to take it. And you always gonna have to take it as far as taking a person's life. Always. That's what it leads to. Either yours is going to get taken or you're going to have to take another's. Because people who worship money and material possessions, they're possessed by materials and money.
Mm-hmm. Hey, all you had to do what they call charge it to the game. That's fucked up. Charge it to the game.
That's right. Charge it to the game. When you feel you want to play it, you know what the charges are. So, one of the best ways a cat had got me, and I'm sure it's gonna be some people going, Chief, Atun Ray, you know, Anthony on there talking shit about you. Nah, I ain't talking shit about the nigga. I'm not. I'm just telling you the truth for what my story is. You can laugh with me or you can laugh at me. Either way it goes, it was funny now, but it wasn't. It was painful when I was going through it. My love for the master teacher, Dr. Malachi Z. York, was being misused. So I was trusting people based upon their love for the master teacher. I thought, hey, I'm gonna get with somebody that's trying to help get him out, so that I could do my part to help get the master teacher out, help free him. And I got tricked. I got put in a trick bag by a cat that was running game on everybody. Probably still is to this day. I heard about him by way of, my brother, Young Elder. But I was looking for Young Elder at the time, trying to get closer to him because I was trying to, connect on the galactic intelligence and the galactic knowledge that he was speaking on, and ended up over there in a trap. First day I got on there, man, niggas is ego tripping. First day, but I remain humble. I just stayed humble, man, because I don't have it in me to be trying to shut somebody down. The game that got ran on me, I'm not gonna go into everything that the nigga was doing. I'm gonna just tell you what happened to me, okay? I was getting woke up at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., didn't matter what time of night or evening it was. Panic would ensue. Panic, straight panic. He'd call and get everybody on the line or try to get everybody on the line. He'd be shaming people that didn't come on the line. And he'd be acting like he was in trouble. So I'm like, if this is the master teacher's son, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to help him. And you know, and this is all going to contribute to helping the master teacher get out. This is what I'm thinking in my heart, right? So I'd always go above and beyond what I should have been doing to help the brother, out of all sincerity, right? He would create panic, different scenarios, and you know, they're after me, they're getting ready to try to kill me. And I'd be sitting on the other line going, who trying to kill you? Like, who would want to kill the master teacher's son? Like, how come you ain't got no daggone protection and that? Bruh, it just didn't make any sense after a while. But before, I was like, I'm gonna stay here until we get the master teacher out. I fell for him saying he had the only plan to get the master teacher out. I'm the only one that knows how to get him out. Me, that's who. And he talks a certain way. So he kind of triggers you into taking a seat and letting him steer the ship, if you get my drift. So I would often just let him have it. You know, nobody really wants to be responsible for a whole multitude of people that you're leading or misleading into thinking that you're actually going to help get the master teacher out when you know you ain't never had any intention on doing so. He just wanted that money. I heard a few things that he was saying that could have deterred me, but I ignored my higher senses to let him still do what he was doing. So this went on for a while, man, before I got tired of it and started doing my own investigation on his behavior. But I fell for it over and over. Every time he called and got everybody on the line. Oh, they're coming to kill me. I need somebody to get me a lift to get me up out of here. Get me a Greyhounder. Nah, man. They really wasn't going to kill him. They really weren't going to do nothing. But because I have love for the master teacher, whom he's running around saying that he's in the mind meld with, and he tried to make it seem like the mind meld was something only him and the master teacher had in common and nobody else could do it. All the while, I'm thinking in the back of my mind, what is this mind meld shit I ain't never heard of? I had to go look it up. And I found out he was full of what? Doo-doo. Okay? Said, man, every time I looked up something this clown was talking about, I found out he was full of doo-doo, bruh. Just full of crap. So I started to think, well, maybe he's somebody named, by the Babylonian or Sumerian deity Enki, right? Wrong. I was wrong about that. But I was hot on his trail as to who it was misleading the people. I kept investigating, but everybody, see, this is the thing. Remember I told you the 3-car Molly dude don't never work alone. So he had several people that he had given positions to that was helping keep the rest of the people there ignorant to what he was doing. They were passionate about this dude and how he was misleading everybody. I mean, when it boils down to it, the brother ain't nothing but a master hypnotist, okay? So he had everybody hypnotized with lies and deception using what I call shadow magic, where he talk a bunch of stuff about you and have people believe in it because they don't know you. It's the same thing that he was doing with the master teacher, making it seem like he loved the master teacher because he knew we loved him dearly and he was using our love against us, using it, taking as much money from the people as he could take. He got plenty of money out of me for a whole daggone year. You know, I was giving out of my heart, you know. So I don't want none of the money back. I don't care about any of that. I grew. I had to get wiser and wiser to come up out of it because if I didn't, he wouldn't have minded if I had gotten murdered or killed messing around with this dude. I don't know if he had somebody call me one night to threaten my life, but it happened. A dude called, actually somebody that, you know, I consider a friend, called me and then had this other guy on the phone and he was on there acting all hysterical for up and down. This dude was high on something, but talking about killing people. Now I said to myself, if this is supposed to be the real Messiah, why is there people calling me from his group threatening my life? Didn't make no sense to me, but I'm not easily scared. Okay, that just made me get more inquisitive. I started asking more questions and digging deeper into it. You're not gonna stray me off of my investigation, nigga. No, sir. Kept on digging. Did enough digging to find out this dude had all kinds of likeness and characteristics to a being that the master teacher wrote about in the holy tablets called Halal, Iblis, right? We talking about Tarnush's son, or the second coming of Tarnush, right? Then I said the word tarnish is like, you know, they say gold don't tarnish, but brass and copper and other type of metals do, right? This dude has the ability to make you look bad while he's trying. The only way he can make himself look good is to make you look bad. So I said to myself, this is Tarnush. If he ain't Tarnush, he's Halal. I looked into the stories of Halal, found out what Halal was doing, you know, with women and how he was causing all kinds of mischief and things like that. And I said, man, that's this dude all day in the flesh. This dude is Halal in the flesh. I couldn't get nobody to hear me out because of how long I stayed into the dirt with this dude, getting tricked, getting misled. It was all because I had love for the master teacher. Now, do I still love the master teacher? Yes, indeed, dearly. But I'm telling everybody, I got a book on hypnosis. When I got the book on hypnosis, I cracked the code on this dude's power. See? And he's a tarot card reader. Rune stones, he reads those things like that. So he tries to communicate with the elements so he can get a drop on people. He wants to know what your birth date is, your name, first name, last name, who your family, all that gives him insight on you. So he can control you with that insight. I fell for it temporarily until I became a student of that particular craft. Then I started to learn. I was like, oh, this is what you're doing to people. Run around telling people he's gonna teach alchemy while he's actually doing alchemy on you. He wasn't teaching nobody alchemy. He was doing alchemy on you. He was transmutating people's brains, how we thought. Okay? Having us trade in our right knowledge brain for the Brady brain, the shady Brady. And it was working. There was a lot of people that jumped in that pool just so they could find out they was being tricked. Okay? He would say stuff like, the Son of Man don't have no place to lay his head and no food to eat. And I'm sitting up here thinking, how is that possible? If you're supposed to be the son of the Most High, you're supposed to be looked out for no matter what. You know, you one with the all. The all's one with you. You're supposed to be in love with the all, and the all's supposed to love you. You're supposed to be a part of the all, and all, and you know, and the all's supposed to be a part of you. What is going on with all this trickery? You're supposed to be able to feed yourself. You don't know how to grow no crops or nothing? Nah. Money, 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 money is what that dude worships. And sex. Now, once again, I stayed there helping because I was tricked into thinking that by helping this dude, I was going to be helping the master teacher, Dr. Malachi Z. York. I thought I was going to be helping him, but I got bamboozled into that. People with good hearts in this day and time, you got to beware of beings that do this, because there's a lot of beings around here now that know that people's brains are wide open to foolishness. They fall for a lot of crap nowadays, from TV being out for so long, poverty happening and going on for so long, despair. People are desperate. At the moment, I was desperate to see the master teacher released. After I met this dude and got used the way I got used, I'm not letting that ever happen to me again. I don't give a shit who you are or who you say you are. If you got a plan to get the master teacher out, it better be a plan that don't involve me giving you all my brain and time and my emotion and any money that I'm making to feed my family. It better not involve none of that.
Hey, 15, I gotta say something real quick because I'm getting in the chat. Okay, all right. the cash app that say D Young Elder $, that's my cash app, and the one that says Shining Brave 1, that's the 15th cash app. So that's why you see two different cash apps, because somebody was asking me, there's two different cash apps. Yeah, one is mine, and one like I said, the D Young Elder, when you pull it up, it'll say Quanswillion, that's mine. And then you'll see you'll see Nesbit on when you pull the Shining Brave one up, you'll see Nesbit, that's the 15th, that's the correct cash app. And shout out Latasha Taylor, I think that's her name, for the donation. And like I say, and I already told them brother Randy Christian, I already told him the help us out with the donations, because we need the money.
Shout out to the brothers and sisters.
Yeah, to the brothers and sisters that are doing the donation. So you like, let me repeat that. You'll see two different cash apps in the links. One that says Shining Brave 1, that's the 15th cash app. And then mine is D Young Elder. And like I say, you'll see Quanswillion, that's the right one. And then you'll see Nesbit. If you see Nesbit on the 15th, that's the right cash app. All right, go ahead. My bad, 15. I just wanted to make that because they was asking about that in the donation.
All right, thank you for that. And I want to make this clear too. I don't hate this brother. I don't even really dislike. I don't dislike you. The only thing is I'm not falling for no more crap. So anytime somebody tries to trick me now, I got a firm guard up against it. I don't let nobody slick nothing by me no daggone more, man. When I hear somebody start to sound slick, I instantly zoom in on them with my microscope. I'm gonna find out what you really about. Because it's a lot of people that while you playing your chess game, they like to look over your shoulder and then try to tell you to make certain moves that you wasn't even thinking about doing. And then when you getting checkmated, you looking at that dude going, man, get away from me, man. You got me checkmated. When really it was your fault for listening to him. You have to learn to block these types of energies out of your life, because they will take you for everything you got, like a parasite. They'll feed off of you. And when they're done feeding off of you, there'll be nothing left for your body to devour. They'll eat every bit of you up. It's a lot of pimps out here to do this to women. That's exactly what I think old boy's got going on for himself, is the pimp game. But he's pimping Baba's children. He's pimping people that follow the master teacher. So beware of these types of beings, because he's not the only one. There's a lot of people out here that as soon as they find out you love the master teacher, they're going to pimp your ass. They're going to find out, oh, you love Baba? Oh, I walked with the master teacher back in the 70s. I've been with him since pimping, been pimping. Right? And then you be like, oh, I'm trying to get close to the master teacher through you. They want to see that in you so they can take all your cash. They have you bowing down and groveling at their feet. Don't fall for none of these suckers. Trust me on that now. Don't fall for none of these suckers, because they're succubus. They will suck all the energy out of you, leave you deflated, depleted, bombed up, laying out in the street to be eaten by the rest of the scavengers. And the rest of the scavengers will come and clean up too. They'll be calling you, man, let me borrow some money. Let me get some money. Let me get some money. Knowing they ain't never gave nothing to you. Nothing tangible anyway. I'm never going to go through no crap like that again. Now, I'm to the point to where now if a brother don't come at me on some humbleness, he won't get a response from me. If you don't say, like I always call my brothers big brother or my brother, you know, but I use a real term of endearment. I'm not going to call you nigga. I'm not going to be calling you nigga if I got a lot of love for you, a lot of respect. I don't do that. All of my sisters, you're not, you know, I'm married. So if you're not my wife, I call you big sister, whether you're younger than me, older than me, my age, because I'm trying to train the brothers and the sisters to learn how to look up to each other and not down on each other. I've been about this. I almost let a person corrupt my spirit. After dealing with the master teacher, your spirit ought to be incorruptible. But there's still beings out here trying to make sure they corrupt your spirit. They want to test that out. They want to test how strong the master teacher's work was. So I had to pass certain spiritual tests. That's what I look at it as. The spiritual test. What made me want to do what I was doing was my own ego. It wasn't nobody else. It was me. I can't blame Brady for what he's doing. That's what he does. But for me to get trapped up in it was my own ego. Why? Oh, I can help the master teacher. I can help get him out. I was thinking about me. You see? People had to learn how to train themselves to not consider their ego when they're trying to do something for everybody. You do something for everybody, keep your ego out of it. When you give somebody, like, put it like this, everybody that's giving donations, highly appreciated and respected. I ain't telling you because you don't, you're not. You are. Everybody's highly appreciated and respected until they do something that's not non-appreciative, such as, I gave this man a whole bunch of money. He never gave me nothing. He won't give me nothing back. That right there is an ego. If one of my elders call me and say, hey man, can I borrow $50 or something like that? No, you can't borrow it, but I'll give it to you. Once I give you the $50, I'm not looking for it back. Forget that. Because if I'm looking for it back and you can't give it back one day, say you lose your job and you can't give it back, then I'm going to be frowning on you. And this going to have me out here telling niggas, oh, he ain't no good, man. Don't give him no money, man. He'll just play you. When that's not true. People run into situations, man. They have stuff that happens to them. And they can't really time that stuff. It just happens at random. So when it does, they can't give you the money back. Now they pump public enemy number one to you. That's not fair. So you have to swallow your ego sometimes. When you're helping somebody, like my wife told me when we were younger, growing up together, you give from your overflow. You don't give if you don't have it to give. If you're not getting daggone well, you're going to need it. Don't give it because you feel like if I give this to him, I'm going to be blessed by it new. That's your ego. Trust me. Your ego is telling you that. If I give him plenty of bread, I'm going to get blessed. Remember, the word blessed is be less. You see? Or be last. Or blast. However you want to look at it. It's not something that everybody should look at that's a favorable term. Remember, the English language is full of dead languages. Okay, so if we're using it, it's already deception in every word that's being used. You got to learn how to look through the etymology of every word and then the semantics. And then you got to do prefix and suffix definitions. You got to do syllable definitions to find out how to decode these spells. If somebody's not speaking genuine from the heart, they can trick you. And it's just that easy. Young elder told you a man came to his door and said, man, this is the first lie. Man, do it look like I came all the way over here to trick you? That was the first lie. And see, if you had told him at that moment, big brother, yes, you would trick me, right? He would have got upset with you. This is part of the second trick. To get angry and show high intensity. Oh man, you know, that's effed up, man. You know what I mean? I ain't got no reason to lie. Yes, you do have a reason to lie. Well, why are you working so hard to sell me steaks? Soon as I told you I can't afford the steaks and I don't want any, you should have said, oh, it's all good, brother, man. I appreciate you just answering the door. I'm going to move on. Why not work that kind of magic? Huh? Instead of getting upset, you can always see these demons coming when they get mad at you for not accepting their trickery. Because they will get upset. And you'll see that demon surface, that negative energy. You'll see it surface immediately because you challenged what they didn't want you to challenge. They didn't want you to see it. They wanted you to be like a child and just accept it. And when you don't, that's when you see the true them come out. Then you'll be saying to yourself, whoa, bro, all I said was I couldn't afford it. Oh man, it's all good, man. You know what I mean? It is what it is, brother. And then they walk off. You have a nice day. You know what I'm saying? They say it in a certain tone and let you know they don't really mean for you to have a nice day. They're pissed off. Okay. If ever I ever called one of the elders and they couldn't help me, spot me some money to probably get me home or something, I'm always sincere about it. If I ever ask somebody for some bread, I sincerely need it. And if you don't, I rely on my what? Good old fashioned feet. I'm gonna walk. I'll walk, man. I've walked plenty of miles. I mean, I'm not even gonna over exaggerate and put a number on it, but I walked enough to know that I can make it. You see, I might get a chance to talk to the elements on the way, have a little bit more spiritual enlightenment on the way. Because whatever happened to me, it does inflame your spirit. Now, you're not inflamed, but flare up. Your spirit flares up a little bit. You be like, man, I'm mad. Couldn't nobody come through. It's da-da-da. Couldn't nobody come through, help me out, man. And one time I walked, and it was raining, and I had to walk all the way from work to get home. And I live, it takes 5 hours to walk from my job to my house. 5 hours. Okay, but I think it's like, I don't know, maybe it's like 20 miles or whatever. But anyway, I'm walking and it's raining, and I'm throwing a hissy fit. And then next thing you know, I get to the street that I had to walk up the street that I live off of, and I'm walking up the street, and then I see coincidentally $20 laying in the grass, just open and laying in the wet grass. And I'm looking at that, I just busted out laughing. I said, look at this. I would have never found $20 laying in the grass if I had a ride. I would have lost $20 paying for a ride instead of actually gaining $20 to use my feet. So it showed me right then and there, everything that you think is negative that happens to you is not negative. You got to look at the upside of things. When you start just looking at it as one way, that's your ego. It ain't got nothing to do with what nature is trying to show you. Nothing. So you got to be able to look past all of the faultiness so you can pick up what nature is giving you from the reality that you live in. Because we all look past it because we're taught to look past nature and just look at what we think is wrong or what we think is right. You got to be able to rise above that in order to ascend to a higher state of being. I couldn't blame nobody for me walking home just because somebody couldn't come through and say, man, I got you. Your brothers ain't going to always be able to, you're not going to always be able to fall back into the hands of your brothers. Sometimes they might be falling back simultaneously. The whole line is falling. You just don't know that. You got to be able to stand on your own too. That's why I say I do not blame Brady for what I went through. I put myself through that stuff. I worked as hard as I could work to help this brother out. But every time I tried to help this brother, something else happened and something else happened and something else happened. I said, this dude got the worst luck in the world. Every time we help him, he sabotages the help. You know what I mean? We get the brother cars, and the cars would just break down on him, and accidents, and either that was happening or he was lying to us. One way or another, he was lying. We got the brother Airbnbs. He was sabotaged the Airbnbs, and the Airbnbs wouldn't be in his name. They'd be in one of the brothers or sisters' name that had a big heart and went and paid for it, and he sabotaged it. Like, what kind of game is this nigga running? But he was running that pimp game on everybody that loved the master teacher. And it's real brothers out here genuinely trying to get the master teacher out of prison. And then you got niggas that ain't. They don't want him out. So you got to learn now, which one of these dudes should I be helping? And what's the best way for me to help the master teacher get him out of prison? What's the best way? That's what I had to ask myself. I ain't gonna talk about the other brother that got us, it was all love. We did it out of love. But like I said, if my ego got in the way, I'd be upset at everybody. I'm not mad at none of these cats. They do what they got to do to make a living. And when you find out somebody's homeless, you just look at that person and go, here go $5, man, because I don't ever want to be you. Never. And if I ever am in this situation, I want somebody like me to come along and help me. You see, this is how my brain is working now. I went through a lot of trauma. Before I found out I was or am Quebesanuth or Quebesanuth, Okay, however y'all cats want to pronounce it. People speak different languages, people speak different tones, so it is what it is. Okay, but there's no vowels in the ancient Egyptian language. Okay, so when I found out that I was that being, it's one of the 4 sons of Horus. All right, I'm the falcon-headed son of Horus, Qubesanuth. Okay, I got a hint from Brady. He didn't tell me I was Qubesanuth. He let me figure it out on my own because that's what he does. While you figuring out who it is you is, he gonna drain you. Give me some money. Give me some money, 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 money. And I'm egotistically giving it to him because I'm like, I'm gonna find out who I am, daggone it. And I just kept doing it. But that once again was my ego. And one day I got pissed off because I mean he's just had this cat working for him that was his main liaison. And you know, he's part of the scheme and the scam. And I ain't gonna mention no names, but he's just a part of it. Oh man, this cat had me upset because I was putting out videos for Brady on YouTube. Real Messiah videos. I was putting them out for him. Put the music behind the stuff and everything. And I had to apologize to the master teacher for ever comparing this dude to the master teacher. I was sick. I was under hypnosis. It can happen to any of you. Okay. It's like I said, when you go pay for a magic, pay for a ticket to a magic show, you're paying to be tricked. Okay. So you accept being hypnotized before you get up on stage as a volunteer, because the magician always asks for a volunteer. In this particular situation, I was the volunteer. I fell for it. Okay. But I was in it for something. I wasn't going just to do all this and not get nothing out of it. My memory started coming back to me based upon trauma. Like somebody hit me upside the head repeatedly. I started to feel sorry for all men on the planet, especially our men, the Nubian men. I started feeling sorry for us because my wife didn't know why I was crying. Man, I cried on and off for 3 days like a bitch. Just boo-hooing on the couch, just sitting there, just waterworks. You know, I don't do all the, I don't do none of that. It's just my eyes, man. It just start crying. My wife was looking at me. She felt sorry for me, but she didn't know what was happening. She didn't know where it was coming from. She didn't know how to console me. I just told her, babe, don't worry about it. I'll get over it. You know, one day, and the third day of this crying, I just had enough. I was like, I can't do this, man. There ain't no way in hell this could be the real Messiah that I'm helping. There's no way. I had to leave this cat alone. But see, before that happened, a voice hit my head and asked me a real question. Now, this is internal. This wasn't like I could hear it clear as day as somebody sitting next to me talking to me, though. But it was in my head, it was in my brain. And the voice said, remember that hint? And I was thinking to myself, what hint? Oh, Brady said that I was older than Happy. Happy is one of the 4 sons of Horus as well in the story, okay? We know that these are depictions of elemental forces. But he explained that I was older than Happy, and that was all the nigga was gonna give me too, because he wasn't gonna flat out tell me who I was at all. So I remembered that from that thought that hit my head and said, remember what he told you, right? Remember that hint. I said, okay. And then I heard, would you die for them? I didn't know where that was coming from. For who? For them? That's a very general word. You know what I mean? That doesn't like pinpoint any group or anything. So, I mean, I accepted and I said yes. Right. And I just said, yes, I guess I would, because I'm out here crying behind my house. I don't know what the heck is going on with me. I was going through a traumatic transition, family. And I said yes. And I remember after that day, I went to sleep and woke up the next day, and that's when I really thought, or really realized, the relationship that we as a people have with Tahuti or thought. Because thought came to me and said, do the research, do the work, Look it up. Look up happy. Look up this. Look up that. I started doing research with family and found out I'm Kabesanu. Okay. It came to me clearly though, because the same attributes of the being I possess spiritually, right? So I called several beings to confirm it. Brother Mo, who was told he was Thutmose the first, and Sister Aminette. I highly favored those beings, of course. They're my older brothers and sisters, and I said, "This is who I am." I figured this out. You think I should call? I ain't gonna call him who he wants to. I'm calling Brady. You think I should call Brady and and confirm it? And sis said, if you want to, you know what I'm saying? And same with Mo. He was like, oh man, only when you get ready to, bro. So I mustered up the strength to call the nigga and ask him what it was. And I remember saying that I'm Kabesanu Fana. He said, exactly. And then he said, spell it out. And I had to spell it for him. And then he said, now what does it mean? I'm thinking to myself, you don't know what it means, nigga? Like, I should tell him, he who replenishes his brothers. It's not no sexual shit. It's spiritual, okay? The water deals with, truth. Water deals with knowledge. Water deals with spirit. So he was like, okay, you got some homework to do or whatever. So I started researching, but see, once again, my ego bugged out and was like, can I tell everybody? And man, then you find out, bro, you tell everybody who you are and they don't give a shit. People don't care. So it doesn't matter. They're just looking for when their date is coming. You see? We call it a birth date. Everybody was messing with Also Ice knows what I'm talking about. We call it a birth date. So I had quite a few of those birth dates after I left Also Ice alone. Things started flooding back to my memory. I started being open up to a vast amount of knowledge and wisdom to find and research knowledge so that I can help people on this plane of existence find themselves. But once again, you have to battle with people's egos in order to help them. If a person don't feel as though you can help them, they'll shut you out anyway. So it doesn't matter what you want. You can only give a person what they need, which is the seed. You have to water the seed, right? And then after you give them a little inch here and there of water, they'll drink that water, and then the seed will sprout a stem and leaves and buds, and flowers, and things later. So I had to wait for a lot of my big brothers to grow when they wanted to, because they weren't going to grow because I said do it. You see, which was very frustrating for me to have to get this information up front and then be trying to hand it out. And I'm not even gift wrapping it. I'm just, you know how you get your gift on Christmas and ain't got no wrapping paper or nothing on it. It's just toys laid out. That's how I was doing. I was just bringing nigga toys like here. And then I realized they didn't want it from me. A lot of them didn't. Some of them did. The ones that did, I stayed around them. The ones that I realized didn't give a shit about my growth, I moved on. I still got love for them. The only thing is I'm not trying to be frustrated with people's growth anymore. So I have to create certain boundaries for myself, because after getting tricked like I did, I'm not about to be put in situations where somebody's forcing me to be humble, when at that moment, humbleness is not what I need. My spirit will tell me exactly what I need. That's exactly why I started learning internally. That's why I started telling people knowledge don't come from books, because I was being taught internally by taught or thought or Tahuti, being led spiritually guided to information. I'm still finding out to this day how much stuff that I taught about that other teachers and other students of the master teacher was teaching, because they could comprehend it. It still shocks and amazes me, because I'm going, wait a minute. As soon as I got done listening to one of the elders, Big Brother Bun, I'm listening to him going, man, what? This brother is teaching the same stuff I was teaching? But I didn't have to read any books to get it. that's the fascinating part about it. It was just flowing out of my blood, man. I got a spiritual upgrade going through all of this trickery. I had to pass a lot of tests, and I'm still getting through tests. I'm still taking tests because you're going to be tested from the day you step foot on this planet to the day you ascend out of the body and leave. You're going to be tested. You're going to have to pass tests. You're going to have a bunch of problems. You're going to have to figure out the equations to these problems. You're going to have to solve these problems. That's something that I had to figure out. Couldn't nobody just run up and tell me, hey, man, you're going to be doing it. I'd have been upset. My ego would have told them, hey, man, leave me alone. That's my ego. The reason why I keep bringing the ego up is because the ego is the biggest trick that you got going on in your life. It's the biggest 3-card molly. The ego will have you set up for failure. So you learn how to conquer your ego so you can become the wisest being that you can become. Because even the wise man knows he don't know nothing. And I'll tell you off rip, I don't know nothing. I'm being told information to give. It's not like I really know it until I see it and put it to use. And if I'm using it, then I'll tell you, I know this works because I've used it. But if it's something I just spiritually was given as information to drop on you, I'm going to tell you, hey, go look it up, man. Do your own research. Don't follow what I'm saying. Do your own research so that you can confirm it in your spirit as facts, as truth. And then you won't be misleading people. I never aim to mislead beings. Everybody deserves a shot at the truth. And nobody knows the truth like you do when you figure it out. I can't tell you you don't know anything because I'd just be lying to you. You know what I don't know. Me and Elder Raziel was talking about this the other day. You know what your next move is. I don't. Ain't that right, Elder?
That's right, bro.
That's what that means. You know what your next move is. I do not know what your next move is. So therefore, you know what I know not. Right? And I don't have to use it I don't have to use that slogan or technique against you. I can't come at you and just be like, I know what you know not, like it was used against a whole crowd of people on the phone by Brady. He would constantly belittle people. I'm an elder. I'm an elder of the Most High. You ain't shit. And I used to be sitting there going, well, dang it. What kind of game is this? Where's all the other elders? I was looking for this is crazy. This dude's an elder and he's running around doing this. Telling people cuss words is blessed words because they express the most. And I'm like, what? Yeah, man, this dude is going to have 10-year-old kids cussing. And they're going to be looking at their parents going, Jesus said that they was blessed words. That's a trick, family. I couldn't fall for that stuff no more. I just couldn't. So this is craziness, man. You know? But that was one of the biggest tricks that ever happened to me. I just wanted to share that little story, man. It's so much more to what happened, but I'm not gonna completely dismantle and bash the brother. Okay. Some people just got to figure out for their own. And they will. A lot of people will figure it out. Hopefully they get to hear this message. I put out a couple slander videos when I first broke free from Oso Ice, but I took them down because I realized it wasn't nothing but my daggone ego once again. People are going to have to learn how to let their spirit guide them. Their higher self, the higher version of themselves can deflect all this madness if you just let it. I had to learn how to do that. So, peace to the brother, peace to Brady, peace to you, and everybody that supports you, brother. Hopefully they'll all find their way. But I found my way. I never was over there for him anywhere. I was over there trying to look for this brother right here, Young Elder. That's who I was over there for. So, and I realize why now, because you see what we're capable of doing. You see? So spirit put us all together. As soon as I got with the brother Young Elder, he gave me another birthday. I figured out I was Quebecinu for my own. When I joined AEO back in 2000, the Ancient Egyptian Order, I got my zero time reference. And the name they gave me was Shiru and Sobek, which means the breath of Sobek. Okay. So I was able to make connections with Sobek and Quebesanuth because Sobek is a being named Unis. Okay. Sobek or Unis Sobek, read from left to right, is Quebecanu, right? I put that together. Didn't nobody have to teach me that. That was learned internally from research and from tying it all in together, which is some of the best daggone secret advice that young elder had given me from straight from Tahuti to his brain. Tahuti said, tie it all in together. Well, I've been practicing that for about 3 years now, 3.5 years going on, 4. And I know how to do it now. I'm still a student of Tahuti's and I'm still tying it in together. So everything that comes across my face, I tie it in with what I already know. Therefore, my brain is expanding and not decreasing. It's not collapsing in on itself. It's expanding. You add water to the well. Don't just take water from the well. You keep adding and adding and adding it. You'll find yourself larger and larger, growing, expanding in wisdom and understanding, and knowledge. And you're going to have your evidence, you're going to have your experience, and you're going to have your reason. And every daggone experience and evidence comes with some reasoning anyway. This is my foundation for learning. No, I do not speak Nuapic fluently. No. Do I have the script at home to study? Yep. Do I have a book? Yep. And am I going to learn it? Yep. You know why? Because that's the major part of breaking the English spell, is to speak your own dialect. And the master teacher already knew that. So while everybody's wasting their time studying the Bible, you should be studying that language so that we can learn to communicate with each other without us being interfered with. See? Because I'm pretty sure the master teacher didn't put cuss words in the Nuapic language. In the English language, there's plenty of curse words. Plenty. In order for us to get away from thinking like our adversary, we got to go into thinking like us. And the language you speak is the thoughts you think. Remember that. Somebody says something to you in Nuapic, if somebody says Panan Zamut in Nuapic, you're going to be thinking what that means in English. What is Panan Zamut? What is that? What is that? Today. Okay? When you start saying Rahubat Yasar, people want to know, what does that mean in English? That means your brain still is on the Englishman frequency, the king's language or the queen's language of frequency. You don't need to have that brain anymore. In order to override that brain code, you have to learn Nuapic. Nuapic is ancient Egyptian. And it's been revised over and over just so we can keep up. Okay? Then you won't be tricked by the Englishman no more. And he'll be trying to learn from you, and you become your own master or God, because now he got to ask you to define things that he don't know nothing about. I'll create a circumology to let y'all know the English language is weak. Don't let people trick you with it no more, because it's a language of deception anyway. Any word that you say in English can mean a variable of things. And people use that on you. That ain't what I mean. That's what they'll say every time. They'll be like, what definition do you want to choose out of Webster's dictionary? What definition? Because you trying to fool me? No, I ain't trying to fool you. Sure feels like it to me. How do you clean that up? In English language, you got a bunch of debates, bunch of arguments going on. Everybody's working some trickery in the English language. In order to purify the English language, it has to be eradicated. You got to burn it up. Using circumology, at least you want to allow people to get into your brain with it and have you hypnotized. You got to learn how to take your power back. I've had my power snatched by several things. Things that get you mad real fast, they taking your power. Your power is your control, the potential to control the starship that you drive. You're playing a video game and you yell out the game is cheating when you know the game is rigged against you anyway, you're letting them take your power from you. If you're on Xbox Live and you got a dude that's in Europe and he's on that microphone headset and he's calling you all kinds of niggers, nigger this and nigger that, and you didn't hit mute or get out of the party or the live to stop from hearing that, then you let him control you. There's only one way to take your power back when you're playing a video game like that, and that's to hit the power button and shut it off mid-game. Watch how you come back too. You're gonna be like, whew, this dude had me about ready to break the TV. That's because he got in your brain. He got inside your head. People that can get inside your head take your will from you and they start steering your body. I talked about that before in several classes. We're in the age of Aquarius now.
Hey, 15.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, big
We
brother.
got this girl named Pretty Girl. Oh yeah, I'm gonna say this, then I'm gonna read her comment. Pretty Girl, if you want to get the books, just send me $45 more to my cash app, and you leave your email in the comment and or the little small part, and I'll send them right to your PDF form to your emails. And this is what her comment is. I gotta I need you. It says half of this sounds so far off to me. Then she put it like a laughing face, crying. I just learned a lot of religion and depth to find what I get from it to my understanding. I don't get. Hey, Pretty Girl, I don't get you what you're saying. It's like you know, you gotta be more clear on your comment. What you saying? You saying we sound religious? That's what you saying? Or you sound like we sound, you know, we sound like we going crazy or something? I don't know. I don't get what you're saying. Because you must then if you being new, we got over almost 800 videos out. So you need to go back and check out some of them videos we already put out and see that we not religious at all. We already been through all those schools. We could teach any one of the religious schools and break it down and build it back up if we want on any one of those religions, especially the main three: Christianity, Islam, and Judaism. We could crack your head on either one of those, break them down and build you back up. We sons of Malachi, sons of Tahuti. You know what I'm saying? We student master teachers. So be more clear in your comment, because we're not religious at all. Religious is means to realign yourself with a whole bunch of demons. Allegiance means a whole bunch of demons. Read means to do again. As in read, which means to re-add. As in repeat, which means to do again. So yeah, you gotta be more clear in your comments. I don't know if you try to be funny, what you trying to do. Yeah, just be more clear. Pretty Girl. Go ahead, 15. My bad, man, because that was the comment, I just didn't get it, like how she was wording it. Half this sounds so far off. What's far off about it? Go ahead, 15.
I'm you know, I understand where she coming from, you know, but she does have to see what I was saying. You know, it's your ego that has you confused, sister. It's your ego. You might not be aware of this yet, but you will. We're not talking religion. We're talking about how not to be deceived by people. We're not here to deceive. I'm not here to deceive anybody. So let me put it like this. Wherever you're starting to learn from is where you're starting from. A blade of grass is not as tall as a tree or a bush, but has the potential to support the growth of both. Now you got to look inside science. You got to look inside. Just stay within science if you don't want to be tricked. Stay within nature and science. Study mathematics. Don't start going into nobody's religions. You study science and you study math. And I ain't talking about just the Europeans' perception of science and math. You study as much science and math as possible until you can create your own. This has nothing to do with religion. I don't know where she got that from. It sounded like a little sneak insult for real. I'm gonna be honest with you. Just sounded like she was trying to belittle what we was talking about. And that's fine too. If you can't keep up with what we're talking about, you don't have to listen. That's your choice. You have the power to plug your ears like a child and go la 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 la. You can do that, pretty girl. I don't know. I would never be, look, I'm never gonna call you ugly because it's obvious you don't want to be called that. You named yourself pretty girl. And I don't need to see a picture either. But I'm letting you know, ego causes those types of responses. I just got done talking about how my ego got me into a lot of trouble. I want you to think about this. A pretty girl can go out to the club masquerading that beauty she's got. But egotistically, she doesn't want to mess with every man that wants to mess with her. But there's some man that has a bigger ego that will mess with the pretty girl regardless. Then that pretty girl will go get another man to stop this other man from harming her. And in the result is both men get hurt. That's what kind of ego a lot of women have when they go out to the club. You bait. You dress to bait. Okay? Then you get mad at men who hit on you. They want a piece of you. That's natural. But you get upset when they go, come here, pretty girl. Let me get a dance. Let me buy you a drink. You don't want to hear none of that because the dude is ugly to you. That's ego, sister. Ego causes all that drama. If you think you're too good, then don't go out there to the club attracting flies and maggots and varmints and a bunch of other low lives. Don't go out there. Stay pretty at home. Look in the mirror. You couldn't just be girl. You had to be pretty girl. That's telling everybody in the world what you think of yourself. It's ego. And I sure wish you'd understand that we don't need anybody that doesn't want to listen. We don't need it. If you don't want to listen, there's plenty of movies to watch on Netflix, HBO Max, or whatever you got on your Fire Stick.
Okay,
everybody
hey,
got one now.
Just came back and said, okay, I just my bad. I had to walk off and go use the latrine real quick. But I think she just maybe it was a typo or something, and she meant no disrespect. So because hey, we chop heads. I know hey, we chop heads off. When you come out to us, we chop heads off. You know what I'm saying? I keep my sword with me. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be more clear when you come on. She said she just not learning, and I think I get what she was saying now that I read the other comments. I think she's saying that she's just not coming out of a real all different like she, you know how like you go through you say okay, you say you're a Christian first, right? And then my bad for cutting in. I just wanted to say this so I could I guess like you started out as a Christian first, right? And then you've been a Christian all your life, and then you see this black Hebrewism, right? Then you say, damn, these people got something like right when you start listening to them, right? You say, okay, these black Hebrews, they got something like right. So then you go to the black Hebrewism, and then you start doing more research. Then you say, damn, this shit right here is still like make-believe shit too. Once you get down to a certain level, right? This right here kind of like make-believe. Not the bloodline and the history of it. I'm talking about the Jesus and the stars and the moon and all this worship type shit. It's really astronomy, right? And so once you get past that, you're like, oh shit, let me find some other religion. Then you looking around, and then you get to the point where I'd have been lied to by all these religions. Now I just want to hear I want to hear the truth. So I guess that's what she's saying. And she's all is like it's new tool and it's way spaced out because it's like so heavy. It's like so much. Like if you go like this to all the tapes we put out, man, we dropping heavy shit. So like for the average person that just coming out of religion, they can go into be shell shocked. So I think that's what she trying to say about her being shell shocked. I'm a cute and 45, married with 3 kids. Yeah. I can see for your picture, you're a pretty girl. But it's all good. Hey, go ahead, 15. I ain't mean to cut you out. I just wanted to but like I say, we chop heads. We chop heads over here. And like say, and people think we leaning that 15 going away from the topic, but he really just going into depth on one thing, like deception. Because deception is one of the main tactics that you use in playing chess to try to trick somebody and get them off their game, right? So so he just going really in depth on deception today.
That's true.
We got
all I was
other
trying to make sure I said
ahead.
was the ego is the greatest deceiver.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was really going in on, just to clear it up for everybody. The ego is your greatest deceiver. Remember that. It's your dark side. It's your lower self, your ego. That's why I kept pinpointing that to her. I wasn't really trying to combat her. I just wanted her to understand, listen, if you don't get it, then I would say, hey, help make it more sense. And we do our best. This might be her first time being in our forum. So tonight we're talking about ego and ego tripping and how to play chess with your own ego, how not to let it get in the way of your spiritual progress. Pastors have egos. Politicians have egos. People that play games and only live for the competition, they have egos. When you get out of living for competition, you're going to be able to compete against yourself, and then you're going to be able to defeat the ego. So I'm going to say I'm sorry, and I apologize if I offended you in any way. That was not my intentions to offend you, okay? And I wasn't offended by what you said either, sister. I wasn't. But I was willing to let you know, prime example of what I've been saying all night about myself, I had to make sure you understood that. You might be a good looking woman, but I understand this. Ants think other ants look good, but wasps, when they look at ants, they don't like them. They don't get along, and neither one of them's ugly in nature. Nobody is ugly in nature. Ugly comes from an energy that you project. It doesn't come from an outer shell. And that's a fact. Because there's somebody for everybody. Somebody for everybody. The problem with us is we've been trained to think what good looking is. We've been trained to think that if we do this and do that to ourselves, we look good. Or if I get 50 people to say I look good throughout the day and only 5 of them hate, then you just call the 5 haters. Not necessarily true. They just don't see you where everybody else does. Your kind will think you're gorgeous, but then somebody that's not of your kind will look at you and go, that woman ugly. When you know deep down in your soul, you ain't ugly. So to say, I'm pretty, that's only for you. That ain't for everybody else. I'm not the best looking dude on the planet according to myself, but I do have somebody. And I have children. So if I was able to get married and procreate like you, then you know you're not ugly. That's why I said beauty is one of those trick words that the English language gave us. Pay attention to what I said about English being a language of deception. When you use words like pretty, that's right in the English language. Beautiful's right there in the English language, and so is handsome. Now, not, and this ain't for you, sister, big sister. It's not for you. This is general, okay? Now you got television shows where you got big girls. They out here trying to prove to the world that they sexy too. Who told them to do that? Why is there a need for them to do this? Because deep down inside, they don't think so. So they have to force it on you visually and artistically through the art form of dancing and shaking their butts to get everybody to say, oh, they good looking. That's hypnosis. We've been hypnotized to say these things about ourselves, to remind ourselves of something that shouldn't even exist. You gotta ask somebody now, have you ever seen a pretty tree? Yeah, I see them all the time. But what about in the wintertime? How many of them are pretty? They ain't growing no flowers. The leaves is falling off. Is it still a tree? Yes, indeed. That's why I said the word pretty and ugly don't exist in nature. It's not natural for you to judge people on their outer appearances. We've been led to believe that it's all right to do so, to make ourselves higher than another. And that keeps us in constant conflict, because I'm sure if you considered a pretty girl, then you have problems with ugly girls at some point in your life. If there's such a thing, right? I guarantee was some ugly girl hating on your beauty because somebody told her she was ugly. It just caused a war. It just caused a war. How many sisters, we call it claws, but how many people put nails on the extended nails on their fingertips? Then they put wigs on.
Right.
They put high heels on. Then they wear waist trainers or waist slimmers and girdles and all this lying. All of it's lying. I'm a good looking woman. Just stop putting all that shit on. If you really believe that. Why you got to have a fancy car? This is not for pretty girl, okay? This is in general. I'm talking in general. I don't want her to feel like I'm jumping on her. I'm just letting people know the ego will have you lying to yourself. The ego. Then you got to tell your child all this stuff in school. Don't let nobody tell you you ugly. You beautiful. You beautiful. Why you got to constantly pound it in her head? Because you know it's some ignorant ass people at the school that don't know nothing about nature. All they care about is popularity and egotistical crap. TV got us thinking like this. School got us thinking like this. Sports got us thinking like this. Competitiveness got us thinking like this. Not science. Because if you go study things in science, like insects and dirt and minerals and grit, and you start studying plants and you study particles and atoms, all that pretty shit goes right out the door. Because you start realizing everything is pretty. Everything looks good in its own way. In its own way. I don't care if you consider yourself fat, skinny, thick, slim, thick, and this goes for men and women. I don't give a damn about none of that. That ain't gonna get black people together. That's gonna keep us running from each other. I don't want nothing to do with her, man. You see how wide her nose was? And she can breathe good. You need to check on her breathing. Brothers out here hitting the gym up. Everybody got the same damn beard now. I'm looking at all these niggas like, bruh, where you get a beard that thick? He got all kinds of black dye in it. This is insanity. But it's our own egos eating us alive. You gonna waste money on this stuff? I'm going to get a haircut. The barber gonna make me look good today. You should be looking good when you wake up. You should be looking at yourself as good all the time. Not looking in the mirror going, let me fix this. Let me get it together. Now, true indeed, you want to groom yourself, because if you didn't, you'd just be blending right on in with any other animal out here. So groom yourself. But don't groom yourself because you hate yourself. Don't groom yourself so everybody else can compliment you. That's ego. I can tell my wife she look good every day of the week, and it don't hold as much weight as it does when some random dude in the street say, girl, you look good. Your husband must be a lucky man. How many times have you heard that one? He know he lucky. That's
Yeah,
ego.
slick. Go ahead.
You feel me? That's ego, brother. That's ego, man. We are swallowed and consumed by it. Everybody thinks they're the GOAT, greatest of all times. There is no such thing. We have to start evaluating the things that are said in the English language to us. We got to evaluate this stuff and then break it down so that it doesn't affect us. It's doing way too much effective damage to everybody. Because if you look too good, you're going to have to fight off too many men, and then eventually you're going to get your husband killed because he's out here trying to defend your honor all the time. Then he might say something slick like, I want men to want my woman because don't no man want a woman that don't no other man want. Nigga, shut up. I don't want to go to war with all the men in the world because they like my woman or the woman that chose me, because technically I don't own her. Technically, we married and everything, and I never claim my wife's body as mine. It's hers. I don't think I have access to the womb every time I get a chance to, come on, let's have some sex. That's messed up. You don't want to have sex with me, and I married you. What was I marrying her for if all it was about was sex? That's not wise. That's my ego getting in the way going, ain't nothing else you can offer me but some pussy. That's wrong. To me, that's wrong. I don't care what nobody else thinks about it. You start doing shit just so you can get some? That's ego. This is what we're talking about tonight. You got to learn to play chess against it. Because if you don't play chess against your own ego, you'll lose. It'll be checkmate all day, every day. And checkmate is death, jail, life in jail, losing your wife, losing your children, losing your family. Those are checkmates. How many niggas you know running around here in the street used to be married? Yeah, I've been divorced 4 times. You're like, dang, 4 times? What kind of ego do you got? My wife ruined they start blaming the wife, blaming the kids. That's ego too. Because it ain't never nobody's fault. People are making crazy decisions day to day because they lack the wisdom to make a good one. And they refuse to let you say that too. You can't tell me nothing like that. No, well, then I guess I can't. But it's already been said. Sorry. You got to stop being egotistical in order for yourself to get ahead spiritually. You can go real high and far in this world egotistically, physically, you can go there, but you can't get there spiritually. You're going to be sacrificing spiritual growth for ego growth. And your ego ain't going to do nothing but tear your spirit down so your flesh can consume it. You'll be all physical by then, all material. Got the baddest clothes in the world, you say. You're looking good, you say, but you're not being good. What's a look without actually being it? I'd rather be good to people than run around here looking good. Looking good. That's an appearance. That's an illusion. You see how that girl look? You see how that dude look? Then y'all get home and take all that stuff off, take all the makeup off, and there you are. The real you. Been hiding under all them lies all day. Because that's what they are, lies. If you big, look big until it's time for you to lose the weight. And work hard to lose the weight. Don't be lying about it, going to the surgeon, getting cut on. Surgeons making millions of dollars on people's egos. I mean, does this sound confusing? What I'm talking about?
You spit straight fact.
I mean, you know how we say, I'm just keeping it real. I'm trying to be as real in reality real as I can be. Third dimensional reality. If you're going to rise up to a fifth dimensional process of thinking, then you need a strong spirit. To be strong spiritually doesn't mean that you have overconfidence. It means you have the ability to balance things out. You're not taking advantage of people all the daggone time, because you know when the advantage has been taken. And you draw back from it because you don't want to completely crush the being that you are taking advantage of. You don't do it. People tell you they love you all the time. Remember, love is just a word. How do you prove love without saying it? That's the question. You have to be all action, don't you? You got to put in that work, don't you? My wife knows I love her. I don't just say it, I show it. I prove it through actions, how I behave. Her ego bigger than mine. And I allow it to be that way because I'm not in no competition with her being in competition. I'm not. You can win. It's not all about winning for me. Because if I could win so bad that I could lose everything else. You ever seen people that go down and have gambling problems? They go down to the casino and they just down there trying to win all the daggone time and they lose the whole house. Then they come home and go, baby, we got to sell the house. And she what? Divorces you because she's tired of your ego. I lost everything on a basketball game. A basketball game? Y'all seen a movie Above the Rim? He couldn't keep his woman happy. I mean, she was just happy with him. Rosie Perez, she was just happy with him. Woody Harrelson.
The white man can't jump. I think that's the name. You told the white man can't jump.
Yeah. Thank you
Snipes.
for correcting me on that. Yes, that's the one I'm talking about. He got hustled by Wesley Snipes for $1,700.
And that's a perfect example right there of deception. Oh shit, go ahead.
Yeah, it's ego that allows you to go through this, brother. That's all. I'm breaking down the basis of why people use deception. People steal because they get away with it. If they get caught, they'll just deny it. That's a part of the deception of beating you intellectually, beating you out. Because once they win that, they think they've won in life when really it's a moment. Somebody you're going to try to trick and you ain't going to be able to trick them. And then they're going to pull their gun out and blow you away.
That happens. Go ahead. That happened in the movie. Go ahead.
That happens in real life. Art imitates life. So movies imitate something real. That stuff happens every day. I seen an interview where a guy got asked why he steals, and he said he likes the thrill of not getting caught, the thrill of tricking somebody and being able to beat them out mentally. I said, well, shoot, when you get across somebody that you can't beat mentally, then what? Then what? A perfect example or a perfect movie to go watch if you want to learn about how chess is played in the game of life is Sherlock Holmes, Game of Shadows, the second one, where he went up against Professor James Moriarty, who was a mathematician and was more calculated than Sherlock Holmes. He was trying to start a world war, selling weapons and stuff to the highest bidder and arming every country to go at each other. And Sherlock Holmes had to stop him. By the end of the movie, Sherlock Holmes and him they played a 5-minute game of chess. 5 minutes. That's not long enough for two brilliant minds to be playing no daggone chess. That's called blitz chess. What's the name, ran out of time. James Moriarty got up from the table and told him that he had lost because he ran out of time on his moves. So Sherlock Holmes started playing chess in his head and calling out the moves on the board without touching the pieces. James Moriarty did the same thing until he realized that Sherlock Holmes checkmated him. All he needed was more time. Sherlock Holmes knew the fight was getting ready to ensue. They was getting ready to have to do hand-to-hand combat. So they played out the scenario of hand-to-hand combat in their heads first. Sherlock Holmes didn't see himself winning that because he was already injured. And he knew James Moriarty was going to attack the injury to cause abundance amount of pain, to take his mind off of the victory, and then he was going to throw him over the ledge. But what he didn't count on was Sherlock Holmes had already calculated how far the fall was off the ledge and where to land at in the water. And he had an oxygen device that he had stole from his brother early in the movie. So he survived the fall, but James Moriarty didn't. So he grabbed him after he blew ashes from his pipe in his face, grabbed him, and then they both went over the ledge. Now you could have seen James Moriarty's face when that happened, because he never anticipated on suicide. Never. You see? That means Sherlock Holmes had to trick even his best friend, which was the doctor that hung around with him all the time. He had to trick him and everybody that he loved, and he had to fake his death like Machiavelli did. Now that's a big chess move right there. Faking your death and getting everybody to love you to believe you did die and you didn't. That was a chess movie for your ass. Just go watch it. I know y'all probably don't like white people that much. I'm not racist. I'm not prejudiced. I just talk about the facts. Like Baba said, you got to punch them in the genes, and that's what I attack. The genes. Okay? But watch that movie so you can see what I'm talking about. James Moriarty's ego made him think he had Sherlock defeated. But his ego clouded his judgment, and he never seen Sherlock Holmes grabbing him and committing suicide. He just didn't see that happening. Even though he wasn't committing suicide and he was just taking that tumble to kill James Moriarty. Well calculated, well thought out plan, plot. Okay. And he had to use mass amounts of deception in order to pull this off. And so did Moriarty. But see, he had to be able to see through James Moriarty's deception in order to counter deception. This happens in everyday life on small scenarios and big scenarios, but it happens. You have to learn to see how much ego a person has and use their ego against them. I knew a lot of pretty girls in high school, but they had low self-esteem. The low self-esteem is their spirit content. Your spirit is low. You're desperately seeking approval all the time. While the other girl that plays in the band, she wears glasses. She went through high school getting her grades. And now she's the dime piece. With a pretty girl in high school, she's already got 5 kids by now, and she's blown out of shape. She got divorced to first baby daddy, second baby daddy, and now she's on the third one because she was too good looking, meaning her ego didn't see any of this coming, like James Moriarty didn't see Sherlock Holmes grabbing him and jumping off a cliff. They don't see themselves doing this. You always got to look ahead. The game of chess is about looking ahead. I mentioned this yesterday. When I get out of my bed in the AM, not the morning, because I don't get up morning death. I get up in the AM or grand rising, as we say as Nubian people. And I look at my bed and I say to myself, that's where I want to end up when I get done with my day. I want to go back to bed. That's my end game. Every day, I start the game, getting out of bed. I want to end the game, getting back in it. You got too many people out here that don't see that far ahead. So they out here getting mad at any old schmo Joe that cuts them off in the road rage accidents and incidents. They get over and now you got a high speed chase because the person hit you and didn't pull over when you did. They just kept on going. When they don't pull over, you should just let it go because you remember, I want to get back in my bed tonight. Try to be swift. Get the license plate number or whatever if you want them to pay. But if not, let nature handle it. He ain't going to keep hitting people. He going to hit the wrong person one day, but today, I got to let it go. My ego will have me chasing that dude down. We'll fly right past the officers going 80, 90 miles per hour until now the officers are involved in the high-speed chase, and they don't care which one of you were wrong because both of y'all wrong. Egos. You got to swallow that ego. Not your pride, but pride and ego go hand in hand because pride comes before the fall. So you got to put that shit to the back of your brain every day. Put your pride aside. This is a true, this happened to me, okay? This is where I had to use my wisdom. My son, I let him know plenty of times any conflict that you have out there in the world, we have. You bring it to your father and your mother. We gonna have to deal with it too. So don't go out there talking trash to nobody. But he did it anyway. Neighborhood kids was mad. They, I don't know how they was on the phone with each other, but they was cussing each other out. And we talking about teenagers. My son getting hot, all hot, like he gonna do something. Like, you don't understand how far this can go, boy. I'm sitting there in the room talking to some Oso Ice members. This is back then. Next thing I know, I'm back there. My wife comes back there. I don't know what in her ego made her want to talk to 3 grown men that came to the door ready for some drama. They came to the door ready for some drama because my son don't understand what pull up means. Pull up. That's what they was yelling to each other. Pull up. Nigga, that mean bring the war to my house. But he didn't know what he was saying because he had been tricked mentally to speak this way off of that shit talking video game and school and other ignorant niggas. So my wife comes back into the room while I'm on the phone talking to some people, and she say, "Can I get a man out here, please?" She's insulting me when she should have came to me instead of answering the damn door. As soon as she answered the door and seen 3 grown men, she should have said, "Excuse me, I'll be back. Let me go get my husband." No, she tried to handle that shit on her own till she realized she had too much ego. She came and got me. I'm like, "What's going on?" She's like, "It's 3 men out here, and they all out here because the car and said that." She tried to tell me, but I wasn't listening. I was just like, 3 men at the door. What for? I went and I got my gun, but I put my gun behind the small of my back. I tucked it. I came out the front door and extended my hand and said, "How you doing, big brother?" Shake his hand. I shook his hand and his hand. 3 of them. And then I took my focus and put it right on the kids, the children that caused all of this. And I said, "Look at what y'all got us doing." To the boys, to the teenagers. That way, the adult men can get out of their ego and focus on the real issue here. I looked at the men and said, "Y'all got jobs, don't y'all?" "I know I do." And they was like, "Yup, we sure do." And I said, I looked right at the boys again and said, "Y'all see what y'all doing? Y'all got drama over here in front of my door over some shit talking over a basketball game? This don't make no sense." I said, "I don't care what was said from you or you. I don't care because neither one of you really meant it." And I made them apologize to each other. They shook hands too. And after that, I let the brothers know, "Hey, don't worry about this. It won't happen again." And then I told old boy's dad, I said, "And if I have any issues with your son, I'll come to you, sir, and let you know first before I call the police. Deal?" Shook his hand. All them brothers walked away, brothers that came to the house, niggas. If I had a huge ego, I would have came to the door with my gun cocked and out and pointed at somebody. And I'd have said, "Get the fuck off my doorstep, nigga." Not knowing they could have had guns too. Then we all would have been dead. Right after that happened, I pulled my son in the house and gave him an hour-long lecture about what not to do in the world. Now, how many of us can crush our egos to the point to where we can survive a death moment? That was a death moment. I had to play chess right there. Because like I said, when I get out of my bed, my end game is to get back in it, not get in a casket, not be on the gurney rolled up in a hospital. See, those are beds too. I have to look past all of those beds to get back to mine, the one I made up. So that's what we're talking about this evening. If anybody don't understand how to get past the ego and they got problems with dealing with their ego, we can give you plenty of wise scenarios to get past it. Young Elder was in one last week or the week before, I think. But I'm sure he knows of different scenarios of handling it now. No matter how ridiculous the scene may look on the chessboard, it can look like I'm about to lose, but if I got 2 power pieces, I can use 2 power pieces to checkmate the king. Because when a person takes all your pieces, what happens? Their ego grows and they get cocky. And you can use that ego to your advantage and take control of the game because they think they already got the game won anyway. But all you looking for is one move. And I've done it. And you got to be extremely patient with yourself when you're going through this. Am I perfect? No. I don't think that there's such a thing. You can strive and strive to be perfect all you want, and you'll never reach it. Ain't nothing here on this planet perfect. The planet itself might be, but nothing within it that needs the planet to exist can be. We all need each other. So how is one of us more perfect than the other? If I'm perfect, then I have to say everybody else is. In their own right, they're perfect. This is how I think now. After being beat out so many times by other egotistical people in the world, you have to learn how to let things go. I can come at people, oh yeah, you know, I'm a Sagittarius, I'm a life path number 9, I'm a highly spiritual being, I remember all my past lives, and just try to get one up on everybody, just one upping people. Like, that ain't really what I'm doing. I'm really just trying to say I love myself. Now, can I be wrong for that? No. Sister, big sister, that's pretty girl, she loves herself, and you're not wrong for that. So, like I said, I am sorry if I came off too tough or too appreciative or anything like that. I apologize if you took anything I said as a direct insult towards you. It was not. Okay, I just was trying to, clarify what the class is about. You know. So I'm gonna yield the mic right there, big bro. I gotta swap this trailer out real quick, okay?
I want to talk about this right here. It's also we're dealing with you got women and men.
You on mute, big brother. Something happened.
Hold on, I gotta switch it back. Damn, hold up.
All right, hold up, damn. Hold up. Cause I have to go to the store real quick. All right, I'm back right now. All right, I'm back. Yeah, hey, look, I want to talk about it's women and men out there that have what they call ducks. They call them ducks, right? And the same thing is dealing with this. It's still dealing with deception, right? Hold on, man. All right, there you go. I think I gotta say it. Yeah, it's dealing with deception. They got what they call ducks, and they do it a lot in Atlanta, man. In major cities, these women, they get these men, and they put them on the hook. They bait them in to get money out of them, but they never and the man, 90% of the time, at least 85% of the time, the man is looking eventually to have sex with the girl or to make out with the girl, right? But the women, they lead these men on. They lead these men on to get money out of them and say, "Oh, I got this nigga. He pay all my bills. He give me money." Country Wayne do like skits on it. When he got these, he do a skit. Well, he's old sugar daddy dude that always giving his girls money. You know, and he never get it. What he want out of the deal. So you got these women out here that use women and men to do it. They use deception to it's really a form of pimping too. You know what I'm saying? They use deception to get money out of men, right? And then they just lead them on. And eventually, in some cases, the man can get mad and take it. You know, he take it. Then so it's a lot of rapes that go down like that because of the woman led the man on, got his money, got thousands of dollars out this dude, and now the dude, he's still waiting on the hook on to get what he want, but he never get what he want. So that's a dangerous form. It's a lot of forms of deception that can turn out because you got to keep in mind it's cause and effect to everything. So the cause was I'm getting money out of this dude, and he think he gonna get some out of me, but he ain't. But the effect is, okay, this dude could get pissed off, get mad, say, "Hey, she playing me," because a lot of people don't like to get played. Like me, when I feel like you playing me, I speak out. That's how I lost a lot of jobs like that, you know, because the boss. I feel like the boss playing me, and then I'll speak out about it and say, "Hey, man," I'll say something about it, and I'll come right out to confront him about it. Like, "Hey, man, I feel like you trying to play me, and I ain't getting played." You know what I'm saying? Some people get real. My ego don't let me. That's another part of my ego. My ego won't let me get played and just play it all the way out. Cause like I was reading the book. I'm reading this book right here. I'm reading this book by Pepper Ken right here. You know, the heart of human chess. Right. I'm reading this book. I'm almost done with it. I got like 3 more chapters. Probably gonna finish it tonight. And he said he got a partner named JD Divine, and a jeweler stole some jewelry from him. Well, he gave the jewelry to the jeweler and wanted him to do upgrades on it, but the jeweler used deception and changed the diamond out, gave him a lesser diamond, and gave it back to him. Well, Divine, he didn't get mad. He said, "All right, this nigga tried to play me." So he disguised a plot. That's another part of the art of chess. It's a plot, because Pepper King talk about that too. A plot. He set up a plot. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get this nigga some jewelry. I'm gonna go to him. I got these diamonds. I'm gonna get him appraised by him, and I'm gonna tell him to lie on the appraisal. But I'm gonna pay him to lie. So he paid the dude to lie on the appraisal. So the dude appraised the diamonds for thousands of more dollars than the diamonds were originally was. And then so he took the diamonds. Then about a week later, he went back with the dude with the diamonds and told him, "Hey man, I need you to make me a chain or something out of this." Well, the dude ended up losing. He got somebody to break into the dude's spot, steal the shit, right? And when they stole it, the dude came back a week later, wanting the diamonds back. And he said that, "Oh yeah, well we don't got it because so we had a burglary." We said, "Well, you got to reimburse me because I had insurance on it, and you got to reimburse me for what the price you appraised it for." So he ended up getting the dude back in a long term. Now, some people don't like that's like revenge, right? Revenge. Some people don't do revenge. Revenge is another part of chess. Like it's a form of it, like getting back at a person over a period of time. Because some people can't play the long game. The long game is a part of the chess. It's dealing with patience, right? A lot of people don't got, like me, my patience is short. You know what I'm saying? But over time, I developed to be, okay, I got to be patient. I can't react real fast on certain things, because you react certain, you can give your hand up. You can let people know what you got going on. You can't let your left hand know what your right hand doing. That's another way to say it, right? Sometimes you can't let your left hand know what your right hand doing, because it can cost you, especially if the person is out to get you, out to deceive you. Jealousy is a killer, man. Jealousy, oh, it's like I've been watching the Bumpy Johnson series, right? I'm on season 2. And I see over the course of the series and season, I see that the mob, they stayed into it because of jealousy. Like when Bumpy Johnson made a deal with the dude Chin, and they was making millions of dollars a day, Check that out. And the other mob four bosses, they were getting jealous. They got jealous of Chin. Say, you working with this end. You working with this end, making all this money. We want to cut. We want to get in on that because we jealous. You know what I'm saying? We jealous of you. Just like the God in the Bible say he a jealous God. Man, that's the most dangerous. Jealousy is the most dangerous thing that can be injected into your vein, man. Jealousy is also playing on ego. You know what I'm saying? Because jealousy is I think it's a form of your ego. Jealousy is a form of your ego. So jealousy can destroy you, man. You know, it can destroy you. Now I can't see, to me, I can't really see the good side, and I've been looking for the good side of jealousy, but it depends on how you use it. I think if you use jealousy as a tool to better yourself, then it can be good. Like instead of using it against somebody, I think if you use jealousy and say, oh, this dude is better than me, or he's higher than me, or he look better than me, to make yourself better. You can
add this.
Go ahead.
One thing, the word jealousy, split it into 3 words: jail, us, see. Now, how many people's in jail because of it?
Yeah, right.
That's all I want to say.
Right. Hey, so like jealousy, man, that's one thing. That's a killer. Man. That's a number one thing that why organizations fall, because one being in the organization get jealous of another being, and then they start a war like they was doing on Bumpy. They started a war over jealousy, killing each other, murdering each other because they got jealous of each other. So that's another thing you got to look out for. Somebody jealous of you, man, you got to know how to play that. Like me, somebody was jealous of me. What I do is like my one of my first teachers, or my second teacher, because my grandpa was my first teacher. He taught me the Bible. I read the Bible. Like I used to get paid on the job $9 an hour just to read the Bible. You know what I'm saying? I'd read it up and down, around and around. And my granddaddy used to pay me to memorize quotes so I could get up in front of the church, because I was a youth minister. So my granddaddy used to pay me to memorize verses, especially out of Proverbs, right? But like I say, jealousy, man, that's a injection to your vein that'll take you down if you don't know how to take it and harness that energy, because everything is a form of energy. Like jealousy, deceit, that's all you're exchanging some kind of energy. And keep in mind, energy is never destroyed. So that jealousy is gonna convert into something else. Envy, hate, bloodshed. It's gonna convert into something else if you don't harness the energy and utilize it in another way. So you got to keep that's another form tactic in chess. You got to have tolerance. How far is your tolerance? Tolerance is also connected with patience. How much can you take before you explode? Right? How much can you take before you explode? Some people can only take so much, and then like some people let it build up. They let that tolerance build up so high. Tolerance is a level. It's a threshold, right? Because then when you're doing music, you got a threshold that you cut the music off at. If you know, all my producers out there and the engineers, because I'm an engineer in the music, so I know about the threshold, right? But some people have a certain threshold. Once you get past that threshold, man, they explode. And I'm gonna tell you that my granddad always told me. Oh, yeah, that's what I was gonna tell you about my first teacher. This is how he tell me to handle people that's jealous, or people that's coming after you, your boss coming after you on your job, somebody hating on you on your job. Like my wife got a chick that was her homegirl, and they were tight. But then when my wife got up there where she at and was doing better, she got jealous. And so my first teacher, my second teacher, which was Mr. Mundell, RIP to Mr. Mundell, he was a pastor of a church, right? And I was like his right-hand man. I was studying with him every day, studying the Bible with him. And he used to tell me, he said, if you got your hand in the lion's mouth, don't just snatch it out, right? Because if a lion got a bite down on you and you just snatch your hand out, you're gonna rip your hand off, right? But if you just pat him on the head, while you got your hand in your mouth, you pat him on the head, rub him, pet him, and ease your hand out. That'll save you the damage, right? Or being being in pain, right? When you're doing this. So if somebody's attacking you and they jealous of you, sometimes it's you can rub them on the head. And that goes with like ass kissing and all that, right? Because like he said, Mr. Mardell told me this too. Because he said he's gonna put he was always telling me I'm gonna write this book called Niggerology. How to because where we was in East Texas, right? Was a whole bunch of racism. It's a whole bunch of race, like they hated niggas, man. They got a sign in Jasper, Texas that say when you go into their town, say nigga, keep on the road. Keep on the road, nigga. Don't stop at our time. You know what I'm saying? So you dealing with when he dealing with people like this, he said he's gonna write a book called Niggerology. And he never got a chance to write that book. So I'll probably end up writing that book called Niggerology because he taught me all the stuff that he's gonna put up in there. And one of the things he said is what you gotta do is you can't be always aggressive. You can't be always gun-ho. Like that's how I was, man. When I was coming up, if you said something about me, and I'm kind of still like that a little bit, but I ain't gonna do no physical harm to nobody. But I you know, if you said something about me, I'm quick to come back at you. You know what I'm saying? Because my pride, my ego. You know what I'm saying? I got the ego thing, like 15 saying that ego thing is a big thing, right? And so what he said is, this dude right here, when wait till I start going live, get mad. My son Hakeem crying in the background.
I heard the door creak over like, eh.
Yeah, he gonna come mess with me, man. Cause his mama up in there though, so he must ain't getting something that he want. He probably, and I bet you if you go in there and look at him when he crying, he don't got no tears. That's a form of deception.
That's a form of ego.
Yeah, ego too. Like you go give me what I want or else. I don't want to hear that.
Biggest egos, bro.
Yeah,
Baby's got the biggest egos. I mean, in order for you to raise your arms in the air and say, pick me up, just from tears, from crying, that pick me up and carry me. You see how the kings used to get carried back in the day? That's ego.
Xerxes. I'm all powerful. I'm kind. I'm merciful.
Straight ego. Go ahead.
He won't lean on us to bow down to him. He said, all you gotta do is bow down to me, and all that you see, you have. It's the same thing as if you want to go with the Bible scenario with Lucifer and Jesus in Matthew chapter 4, verse 4, where he comes and talk about bow down before me. Or sometimes people want you to prove it. If you say you this, prove it. You know what I'm saying? You say you Jesus, prove it, right? Although we know that Jesus' story is allegorical and astronomy, just for the sake of conversation. Yeah, he wanted them to prove it. Sometimes people want you to, they get on your, they mess with your pride. Pride and ego goes hand in hand, right? Because pride comes before the fall. And like we say, pride comes before the fall. So don't let nobody, you gotta control yourself. Control and discipline. Discipline is another word that goes with control. When you discipline yourself, you won't let these things take you out. Because man, don't, like my brother always say, man. My brother always say, he said, man, don't let them niggas play you off the streets. You know what I'm saying? But you on the streets, you free, and then some stupid nigga fuck with you and mess with your pride, excuse my French, mess with you and affect your pride, and then you go on trying to hurt the brother, and then he call the cops and make it like he's the victim, even though he victimized you, he make it like he the victim and you the villain. You know what I'm saying? You got people that play that type of chess game. They'll get you all hyped and crunk and get you to do something stupid, and then they be the one calling the cops. Right? Calling the cops on you like they got like you did wrong. You the bad guy. So you gotta watch cats like that too, man. That's another good chess strategy that people use to try to get you off your square. That's what I was talking about yesterday. Like the king, I got this. I'm gonna go back to what Mr. Mundell taught me about the niggerology, but I want to talk about this. The king is on his square, right? And to keep in mind, it's like 15 said yesterday, it's 64 squares on the board. And if you get that king off his square before he castle, it's gonna cost you, any good chess player knows it's gonna cost you about 1 or 2, 3 moves to get that king to castle. Because what I just like to do when I'm playing chess, I go out with my knight. The knight is like the assassin, right? As in the Knights of Templar, right? The Knights of Templar. That's why they call them the knights, right? The Knights of Templar. They are assassins. They are watchers. They call them, also that's another name for them, the watchers, right? So that knight watching you, and what I do is I take my knight out and I go up there and attack the king. And before he could get castled, I try to get him off his square. Once you get the king off his square, once you get that king off his square, that's a psychological tactic. When people get you off your square, it's like just like going in court. When you're going in court and you waive all your rights, they got you off your square, right? We as Moors, we know hold your square, hold your square. Masons talk about it, hold your square, right? That's it ain't just holding your feet at a 90-degree angle. It's stand on your principles. In chess, you got to stick to your principles. You can't let nobody distract you or get you off your game, right? So you go into the court and they you say, I ain't waiving none of my rights. I'm standing up on the Constitution. Feel like we say, you stand for something or you'll fall for anything, right? So you go into court, you standing on your Constitution, and the judge gonna try you 3 times, just like in the Wizard of Oz when Dorothy had to click her heels to go home. You click your heels 3 times to go home, right? So they're gonna try you every time. Like when you say something, bring up the treaties. All my Moors know about this. When you bring up the treaties, they're gonna try you to see what you know, see if you really holding to that, see if you really holding your square on it, right? And then once you go through 3 times of objection, Your Honor, no, I don't want to waive none of my rights at any time, under no circumstances, under no conditions do I waive any of my rights, right? That he gonna try you 3 times, and then so if you stay on that square, right? But sometimes you have to move off that square. You have to try other angles, because like we said, the bishop is always waiting in the corner. The bishop is the sneakiest piece on the board to me. To me, the bishop is the most underestimated and sneaky piece besides the knight on the board, because the bishop be waiting way down in the corner. You don't even see him. You might not even see the bishop coming. And that's how you know you making a move with your queen. I got my queen took a lot of times by a bishop, because I didn't know, hey, this bishop was sitting in the corner waiting on me to make the wrong move. As soon as I moved, I didn't look. So you got to make sure you observe the whole board. I gotta
say something.
Go ahead, 15.
Hey, the bishop at the church will try to take your wife from you. Same thing.
That's right.
So you got to be careful.
Right.
The bishop will take your queen for real. In real life, the bishop will take your queen. Go ahead, big brother.
Hey, that's right. The right in real life, the bishop be looking at your woman. They want them to sit on the front row. I done seen that a lot of times in church with a bishop after somebody's wife. And matter of fact, I know several churches that got shit down because of that. Matter of fact, did you know that the church that T.D. Jakes owned, it's called Potter House, when I used to live in Dallas, right? the Potter's house. T.D. Jakes got that church for like $2 million, but it was worth way more than that. It came with a TV station, charter buses, Sunday school buses, a whole bunch of stuff came with that church, because the dude that owned that church prior to T.D. Jakes was a Mexican guy, and he had a co-pastor, right? And the main pastor took the co-pastor's wife. So he ended up taking the money and shutting the church down, but he sold it to T.D. Jakes. So before T.D. Jakes had the Potter's house, it was owned by some Mexicans, right? And the Mexicans stole the co-pastor's wife. So you gotta, that's another thing, the bishop, right? A bishop is not like 15 talking about that yesterday. The bishop is a pimp. The bishop is politicians. The bishop is a pastor, a preacher, some kind of political figure. They got a certain type of power, and they always coming at you in an angle off the square. They always coming at you in an angle off the square. And like I said, that bishop could be sitting down. I seen, like, I had people, they had their bishop be sitting down in the corner, and you gotta, when you looking at this game, you gotta observe the whole game. You just can't look at this game one-sided or from one angle. You gotta look at this game from 4 angles, from 4 different angles, because there's 4 different angles on the board. You got the left corner, right corner on the white side, and the left corner and the right corner on the black side. So you gotta look at this whole board, and you gotta, before you make your move, you gotta calculate everything and say, okay, if I move right here, so what you gotta do before you touch the pieces, in the board, and it's the same thing in life. Before you touch anything, you gotta think on it. Before you say anything, they can, because I done said some shit that I had to go back and apologize for it later. Even Baba, he wrote books about the Nation of Islam, and then he come back later after he say, "Oh man, I ain't want to destroy these cats because they like my brothers, and I'll really be being a devil to take them down." So he came back and told them and I forgot what name of the book is. 12th Mike can tell you the name of the book that he put out, And wait, hey, Twitter, what's
It's
the
the
name of that
apology
book?
pamphlet. The apology
Yeah,
pamphlet.
the apology pamphlet. So he came back and apologized because he said some things like even about Dr. Ben and Dr. Clark, right? Those good brothers, Dr. Ben and Dr. Clark. He said some things about them being because we all can get off our square. Somebody got him off his square, and he said some things that he didn't really mean, and then he had to come back and apologize or say sorry about it, and write a book about it, right? Whatever. And I think he told him, hey, what was that book he told him to burn? The book that he wrote about the Nation of Islam, 12. He told him everybody to burn that book. I forget the name of that book. I can't think of the name of the book right now. But I think 12 will probably come up with the name of that book in a minute. But he ended up telling them to get rid of that book because he didn't want to tear down the nation. Because so many good things, they did more good things than bad. That's another thing. When you with your wife or your other significant other, you gotta let the good outweigh the bad. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing in this game. You write down all the bad things, then you write down all the good things. If the good things outweigh the bad, then you say, forget it, man. Like, forget the bad things. Because you got to focus. We always, as people, we always focus on the things that's not right, the things that's not good. But the things that, we got to focus on the things that's good. Focus on, when you start focusing on all the good stuff and the positive stuff begin to reattract and it begins to rehappen, in your life. Go ahead.
Hey, young girl, I think it's the Lamb book.
Yeah, the Book of Lamb. That's the book. Yeah. He wrote that book about the nation and told him to burn it because he apologized. So we all, even the master teacher, we all gotta be even the master teacher is one of the best at this game. He's one of the best at this game, as far as finance, as far as just teaching and everything, writing the books. He's one of the best at this game. So keep in mind, everybody make mistakes. Everybody make mistakes. But if you what makes you a man about it and harness your ego.
What was it, baby? In the couch? Hey, I know where the couch to do it.
Found it. Yeah. Hey, which makes you a man about it. And to harness your ego is you come back and clear things up. You come back and clear things up, right? Come back and say, hey, well, man, I was wrong about that. Me, I say that quick. If I'm wrong about it, I come back and say, you know what? Because me and my wife, sometimes I might get into it with her, and sometimes it be me because I'd be like ego tripping. Like because I done went through the schools, all these schools. Hey, shout out to brother Junior Gaston for the donation, bro, for the $5 donation. Shout out. Sometimes I'll be angry at the moment because me, I got a short temper. My fuse is short like a firecracker, man. Because my brain works so fast, and when people ain't getting it, when I'm around you and you ain't getting it, I get frustrated. Like, man, how don't you ain't getting it? Why you ain't getting this? You know what I'm saying? It's simple. It's simple, but it might not be simple to them. It might be simple to me, but not to them at the moment. You know what I'm saying? So I had to work on that as far as my ego. And then so I find myself sometimes coming back and say, you know what, baby, I'm sorry. And sometimes even if you are right, sometimes you can neutralize the energy, the bad energy, by just being the one that first apologized, even though you ain't wrong, even though you was right. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you can neutralize that energy. Go ahead, 15. Let me go ahead and see what.
I was going to ask you if anybody had any more questions in the comment section before I, go in.
Oh, hold on, let me look in the comments and make sure, because I was letting my phone charge up real quick. And I had just when I had just a minute ago, probably like 30 minutes ago, I had went to the store, so that's why I had to switch to my phone. Okay, hold on, just a second.
All right.
Let's see.
Glad you was able to do that.
Yeah. I can switch it to my. I went to the store for my wife real quick. I switched it out, and I was still able to do that. So now that I know I can do that, this gonna help me out too, because I had to run off some. But most time I be having everything done at this time. Okay, here we go. Right here, we got the comments. Do I let the sleep? Hey, somebody asked, do they let the sleep? Hey, well, look. Go ahead.
Yeah, because let me put it like this. If you were sleeping in your bed right now and I busted in your door and threw a pail of water on you to wake you up, how mad would you be? If I came over to you and I don't live in your house and you sleeping good on your own couch and I start shaking you, hey man, get up, get up. And when you wake up, the house ain't burning down and ain't no clear and present danger. You're gonna be mad. You wake some people up, they immediately go to swinging on you.
Mm-hmm.
See? So yeah, you let them sleep. All you can do is call them out of their sleep. If they don't respond to your tones and you jump on them, you better be somebody that love them and they better be somebody that love you. Like, put it like this. Your daddy could probably wake you up better than I can. And if your dad can't, there's somebody else you love, like your wife. You ain't so quick to slap her if she wake you up. So let her wake you up. But let somebody that you love dearly do it. If you go out here and try to just randomly wake people up that don't know you, you're going to be into a lot of fights, a lot of arguments, a lot of debates, a lot of crazy situations. And that's what? Ego. Because every superhero, just because you got powers don't mean you should save everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I say it all the time, don't it, young elder? Mr.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible,
Mm-hmm.
he got sued. I know it's just a cartoon movie, but look at the wisdom.
Yeah, right.
He should not have saved that guy that jumped off that building to kill himself. But when he saved him, he broke every bone in his body. So was he really saving him? He was. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, it was my ego to think that I could save everybody. It was my ego to think that I could wake up everybody, and I wasn't even fully woke. Some cats is woke to the degree of their eyes being open, but they still laying down in the bed. Some cats is woke to the degree that they pulled the covers back and they sitting up in the bed, but they still ain't got out the bed. That means they woke, but they still ain't ready to get their 10 toes on the ground and put no walking in. Some people woke, dressed, got their breath fresh from brushing their teeth, washed up, and they out the house putting in work. Some people are woke to that degree. Those be your teachers. Those be beings like Dr. Malachi Z. York that started his own land project. You know, had the ancient Egyptian amusement park down there for our people to attract us like flies, not flies, but like a lightning bug, or moth to a flame, or moth to a street light. He attracted us with that. It was an amusement park so that he could bring us together under one banner, right? But that was his ability because he was all the way out the bed. Some of these people ain't out the bed. So I would say, no, sir, I wouldn't recommend it. You do what you feel you should do, though. Don't let me control you. If you think that you got what it takes to be waking people up and not get slapped upside your head, then go ahead and do it. But I'm just going to give you some wisdom. I wouldn't recommend it. It's like a guy on Family Guy, the dude with the club leg. They got the wooden leg. He was sitting in the bar one time getting drunk. And this guy came over and asked him a life question. And he said, man, I done seen a lot of things, been through a lot of things, and done some stuff that I wouldn't recommend. I wouldn't recommend it. You don't want to go through all the arguments and debates I went through. I done been double teamed, triple teamed, quadruple teamed, quintuple team. I done been teamed up on or teamed up against. I used to walk with my holy tablets. I used to have a holy tablets hardcover, black, with the ancient Egyptian writing on the front. And I used to have that at work with me. And, it'd be people up there at my job with their Bibles and stuff too, But on break, our break used to be dang near 3 hours. So I worked at the airport. So we only worked when it was time for when a plane came down. And we had to wait for the planes to fly where they flew and came back. So I was up in there, man, getting called, like I said, my ancient Egyptian name was Shiru and Sobek. They don't know who Sobek is. They don't know what Shiru is. Shiru's the breath. In is of. So breath of Sobek is who I am or what I am. They didn't know that, nor did they give a damn. They seen my book. One of my good friends, he's younger than me by a good 6 years, maybe. No, Von's about 4 years younger than me. Von started busting out laughing and said, ha, look at Ant's Egyptian Bible. and everybody else laughed with him. Once again, the ego had everybody thinking they should chime in on that laughter. Neither one of them wanted to learn what was in the book. They were afraid. They were scared of that stuff. So I had to go at Vaughn. I had to close my book. My ego got the best of me, and I started cracking jokes back on him. So we ended up in a riff session. Next thing you know, we joking on each other for the next hour. But he distracted my focus of actually learning. I was reading the tablets to learn, but he came in on low energy. It wasn't him. I blame it on 6 ether. 6 ether is what I blame it on. When somebody is distracting you, it's because their brain is only processing 6 ethers. The ethers that allow them to fight, flight, feed, and fornicate, like Dr. Delbert Blair used to teach, the 4 Fs. So 6 ether will have a person vibing on that degree of intelligence, which means all they want to do is have fun. If they can't have fun and mess around with you, then they ain't living. They think that's not living. So I had to go up against that 6 ether energy every day. And I had to be able to do it well, because if I didn't have tough skin, and I didn't have my own ability to joke. I'm a witty, crafty dude. So, not tooting my own horn. Everybody, I believe, can hold their own. But I had to get the joking on this nigga just to let him know, bro, you can't come at me like that, and I can't defend myself. I got a guard too. I can block what you're saying and throw something right back. See if you can catch it, right? That happened a lot, and it kept me from teaching people, from waking people up. Excuse me. I used to have people come to me and say, hey, man, when you get a chance, man, I want you to let me know what that book is about. Very inquisitive people that really wanted to wake up. So I would be sitting with them away from the crowd. And I would tell them, all right, look, this is what right knowledge is about. And this is what it means. And I started breaking it down and start teaching them about the master teacher and his purpose and what he was trying to do for us and things. And then across the hangar, I look and I saw a pastor that used to work there, and he would watch me teaching people in private. And I would see him see me, and then there's the chess game, the spiritual chess game is starting. So I'm like, here it goes. I looked at my homeboy that I was teaching, and I said, look, you see him? And he was like, oh, yeah, Walt, man, that's my dude. I was like, okay. I was like, Walt, I like Walt too. That's my guy too. But listen, he's a pastor at a church, okay? Everything I'm teaching you now to wake you up, he's going to come behind me to put you back to sleep. Trust me. And no sooner than I would get done talking to my partner, an hour go by, 2 hours go by, one meet done, he come to me and go, man, bruh, soon as you walked away from me with your book and went into another room, Walt came over, bruh, started preaching the word of God to me, bruh. I was like, didn't I tell you? This is war. This is a spiritual war. It's not physical. It's one mind shifting to another. One paradigm of thought is ending, and the new paradigm of thinking is coming in, and the old paradigm is battling hard against the new paradigm. This stuff has been going on since Baba showed up. Okay? So I learned back then to stop trying to wake people up because I want them woke. You had to wait for people to come to you, because the saying goes like this, and y'all know this saying: when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. That's a fact. That is a 100% scientific fact. Soon as you're ready, the ethers, the elements will choose somebody to speak through. Right when you're ready to know now. And the ethers that choose to speak to you through that vessel at that time will give you what's needed at that time to grow on. So you don't have to say, man, that's too heavy. Because some of us will teach and will confuse you more than you were confused, because your brain wasn't ready to compute this level of information. There's a lot of people that are not ready to be self-responsible. They want a crutch, which means they need a teacher to lean on and one to blame in case things go wrong. Something goes wrong, you going, Oh, I learned that from my Baba. It's Baba's fault. I'm this stupid. No, it ain't. You got to check that. You can't use the master teacher as a crutch to mess up in the world. See, you do that, you're wrong to yourself. That's your ego. That's you using a need and a crutch because you are not responsible for self. Once you become responsible for your own actions and responsible for self, then you can help your people. Because that's what I like to teach people. Be responsible for self and stop looking for something else to come help you other than the hands at your arm, at the end of your arm, man. I used to have debates with highly intelligent people, man. I'm talking about niggas I couldn't beat in chess back then. I beat them before, but 9 times out of 10, out of 9 games, I was only winning 1 or 2. And this cat was, he was obliterating me. Like I got my chess skills up from losing a lot of games. I had to lose to learn how not to lose. So you got to know what a loss is first. This cat used to have his Bible. He's a real good dude too, man. Good heart and everything, man. This cat from Philly. I ain't gonna say his name on the record right now, but he was a good dude. Me and him had debates that would attract crowds of people because I would never let him just tell me one thing and go to a scripture and try to prove it with scripture. Because I'd always open up the holy tablets on him and go to the tablets. So me and him would be in full-fledged debates. Crowds of people would sit there and not say anything. They would just be listening to me and him go at it. But most of the people in the crowd were Christians. So I'd be outnumbered. I mean, I'm talking sometimes 10 to 1, 15 to 1, 20 to 1. They'd be condemning me to hell. You're going to go to hell. Don't you know Jesus died for your sins, brother? Don't you know this? Don't you know that? And I used to always lean back and go, man, don't you know my father's a pastor of a church, nigga? What? You should be ashamed of yourself then. What church is your pastor at? They wanted to tell my father on me. Like I hadn't had these debates with my own father. I tried to wake him up too. But it wasn't on me to do it. That was part of my spiritual trials. I had to go through those trials with a lot of people, man. I mean, I had debates with nuns at the library. I was at a Catholic college studying with my partner. This was before I even got a holy tablets. I had just been introduced to right knowledge about 95, around the end of 95, 96. And it was this nun that was walking past the computer that me and my partner Robert was looking at. We was looking at this and we studying, man. We printing up stuff on the printer for free at the library, and she didn't like it. She seen what we was researching and decided to stick her nose in our business. I was young and egotistical back then, so I got upset with the lady and told her to mind her own business, you know. So she kicked us out the daggone library. Then when I was driving home, I was looking at my homeboy RJ and I said, man, I don't know where we're going to pick this stuff up now because I didn't have Bible Scrolls. So whatever Nuwapian website that was on the internet back in the 90s, I was trying to find it and print up all the information I could print up so I could study it at home. And she interfered with that just because I told her to mind her own business. I should have shut my mouth at that point. I should have used wisdom. I should have just listened to the lady try to persuade me to go into being Catholic. I should have just let her say it all. And then when she got done, like Smokey said, when Debo come around, I shut up. But when Debo leave, I'll be talking again. I should have did her like Debo, you know what I mean? But I wasn't thinking. I was going, man, I got to challenge this lady. Get out of my face, lady. You don't know nothing, you know? But that was my ego. I learned from that. It wasn't my job to combat that lady. She was defending the library against what she thought was evil. Everybody has a version of evil. What's evil to you isn't evil to the person that's committing evil. The person that's robbing your house, they're bad to you because it's your house getting robbed. But if they rob you and you never find out and they get home, the spoils of war, suit their favor. They looking up and they divvy up the money, they counting the jury, and they going, man, we made out pretty good. That was, see, we made out pretty good. That means they won. They felt like it was good. It was good for them, but not the person that got robbed. So I had to check how I look at bad and good, good and evil, positive and negative. Anything that hurts you in the moment is probably negative to you. Doesn't always mean it's negative to the person that hurt you. You can't tell a lion he's a bad animal. You can't tell a grizzly bear that they're bad animals. You can't tell a dragonfly he's evil. You can't tell a wasp that he's evil, or a praying mantis that he's evil. You can't. See? Because if they don't eat, then they perish. So they look at the thing that's trying to keep them from eating as evil at that moment. And then it changes positions. So what I learned is learn as much as I can learn, know as much as I can know, and use all that I know and all that I have evidence of in my favor, but do my best to not harm anyone in the process. That's going to be extremely hard, but you can do it. Have I hurt some people recently? I'm sure I have. But I have to be what? Apologetic. I have to say I'm sorry, and I have to be better than I was last time. The next time I'm in that person's presence, I have to be better because I'm at war with me, with my ego, not theirs. They have to learn how to check their own ego. They have to learn that. If they don't learn that, then they could be obliterated. I call it the reset. Because you ain't gonna do nothing because you have desires for this third density. You ain't gonna do nothing but be born again in the third density. You're not gonna be able to travel galactically because you're too heavy. You're too weighed down. You're magnetically attracted to the planet Earth, not the sun. I'm magnetically attracted to the sun because I'm a son of the sun. So that's where I want to go. I want to go back into the bosom of the all. And then I want to be able to travel willingly to other places and other planes and be allowed to, because I don't have the ego to try to overthrow the whole planet when I get there. You don't want that. You want to subdue that ego because the ego is only here to help you survive in certain situations, which is stay alive. If it's not a life and death situation, then shut your ego up. Because sometimes your ego will get you killed anyway in a life or death situation if you're not using wisdom together with it. I'm not gonna always tell. I wouldn't walk up to Tookie Williams, the one of the pioneers of the Crips gang. I wouldn't walk up to that dude talking as much smack as I can talk to him. I'll mess around, get my head knocked off my neck. You gotta think about it. That would be stupid. Now his ego would be what? Bigger than mine in that moment, now wouldn't it? Your ego is not prepared to walk up to Shaquille O'Neal and punch him in the balls. I'm not I'm not that crazy. Shaquille O'Neal would smash my head into the ground with the heels of his foot. And you see my eyes pop right out of my skull. Like I'm Mr. Potato Head.
Cartoon character.
You know what I'm saying? I have to be intelligent with Shaquille O'Neal. You know, I got big brothers that are elders, they above the 6'6". I can't be just talking. I can't talk trash to them brothers. I'm going to meet them in person one day. I love them. You know what I'm saying? Talking about some what now? Nigga say that shit now. I'll be dead because the ego will have me dead. So I have to learn how to tell myself, shut up sometimes. You don't have to say it out loud. Sometimes you just tell yourself inside yourself to be quiet from within. You're saying too much. Nobody has to hear that voice but you, but there's a voice talking to you. Hold on. Okay, I thank you, big bro. Big brother Randy. Appreciate it, bro. For the donation.
Hey, shout out to brother Randy, man. Shout out to brother Randy.
Thank you so much,
showing the love.
I highly appreciate that, bro. Go ahead, big brother.
Hey, Key, that what you was telling me reminds me when that movie Creed,
when he was said he was when he was shadow boxing. He said, the fight is against you. You fight yourself. You know what I'm saying? That guy's just in the way. You know what I'm saying? You remember that?
Yep. I also remember when he got his butt in that ring and he challenged dudes fighters at the gym.
Yeah,
and
got
Wood
knocked
Harrell.
out.
Yeah, Andre Ward came in there and he was like, "Ain't you gonna warm up?" Andre Ward was like, "For him? Nah." He got in there cold. Professional boxer, bro. And he tried to knock him out with all that childish rage. And got his butt beat.
Yeah.
Got his butt whipped. Just like Batman did the first time he fought Bane. That's one of my favorite fight scenes of any movie. Batman and Bane, the first fight, and he was pissed off at Catwoman because she set him up. And he was like looking at Catwoman like, "What have you done? You don't know what this guy could kill me." He got in there and Bane told all his men to stand down. And Batman was in there fighting for his life. But Bane wasn't. Bane was used to it. Bane told that man, like a child. He's like, "You fight like a younger man with nothing held back." And then he said, "Admiral." I was like, "Oh, hell no." That nigga Batman cut all the lights off. And Bane said, "Huh, you merely adapted to the dark. I was born in it, molded by it." That nigga Batman knew he was dead, bro. And then he said, "I'm trying to figure out what to break first, your spirit or your body." And then broke that nigga back and let him live.
Yeah, it's my guy. Bang.
That's ego.
Yep.
Dude's ego was way bigger than Bruce Wayne's. I'm sorry, 12 man. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Elder.
No, that's all I want to mention, man. You know what I'm saying? Something that remind me of that movie, man. That's all. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, it's plenty of scenarios, man. We could bring out. There's real life scenarios and competition where this plays out. Ali and Ken Norton. Ken Norton in the first fight, he was humble. Ali had all the ego. He was the one bragging. Tried to tell Ken Norton he was too dumb to beat him. But somewhere and somehow Ken Norton couldn't miss with that right hand. And then he had a jab that he was shooting under, he's shooting an up jab under Ali's jab, right? And he was catching Ali with his own jab and then coming over top with the right hand, but he hit him so many times with that right hand, he broke his jaw. Ali had to finish the fight with a broken jaw. Because he wouldn't keep his mouth shut. So Norton just stayed humble and stuck to the game plan. Another, Marvin Hagler and Tommy Hearns. Tommy Hearns was the man. We talking about Motor City Assassin, the Cobra, the hitman Hearns himself. Hit you with one right hand and send a shockwave from your head down to your feet and kill you, like he did Roberto Duran. But Hagler didn't care. I don't care about what you think of yourself, man. I'm in here to run through you with any hand I got. And he split Hagler's face open in that fight, but it didn't stop him from coming. After he broke Hearns' will, then you seen Hearns running away from Hagler in the fight until he just couldn't handle no more. I said to myself, "Now look at this shit here. It only went, 4 rounds? Hearn gave it all he got." Tommy Hearns is one of the greatest middleweights and welterweights that ever lived, and he gave it all he got against Hagler. It didn't matter. Over the weekend, the Truth, Errol Spence Jr. beat Yordenis Ugas, a man who beat Manny Pacquiao and retired him, took his belt, fought Errol Spence. Errol Spence is coming off of a car crash and a detached retina. All these people were talking shit saying Errol Spence is a shell of himself. He ain't the man he once was. But Errol Spence's ego is way bigger than many people know. He's an introverted person, a person that is a very little words. He don't like to talk much. He talks very calm. He has the same tone of voice just about every time he say anything he say. It's hard to get Errol excited. But when you fighting him, you are in a whirlwind of trouble. Quiet people are really the most egotistical people on the planet. Little do you know. They eat whatever you bring in, and they gonna stay quiet while they dominate you. They ain't gotta talk shit. They'll just steamroll you. You'll be caught by the element of surprise. Because you like, man, this dude was humble. He was quiet. I was calling him all kinds of names in school and challenging him to a fight after school and got my ass whizzes up. I went home with a broken nose, a broken jaw, a broken orbital bone, and a few cracked ribs messing with this quiet dude. Mike Tyson, he's an introvert, man. Mike Tyson is not somebody that talk a lot. He just started doing this stuff. He was a very humble child, but he got caught up in the streets. Living in where he lived at, there was people who molded him to want to be a gangster. He didn't see it any other way of having something, so he followed the wrong people. And now look at him. He's different. He learned. Old age is a gift from the all. When you get that old age up under you, you learn you can't beat everybody. You can't. I mean, was it a draw when he fought Roy Jones? Or did Roy Jones beat him?
I think it was a draw, right? But I think Roy Jones might have beat him. But I think they call it a draw just to save face, I think.
It was a draw. It was an exhibition. And then at the same time, Tyson was upset because everybody looks at Tyson as the most dangerous man on the planet. But Tyson also can feel pain. He can get hurt. And nobody cared. At the end of that fight, everybody was checking on Roy Jones. You all right, Roy? Roy, you cool, Roy? And Roy was like, yeah, I'm good. Tyson grabbed the microphone, was like, hey, man, I was fighting too, man. He could have killed me too. I could have got hurt. Nobody cared because his aura, the aura that the media painted of Mike, the media drove Mike crazy, man.
He's vicious.
Back when he was younger. Yeah, didn't they?
They just kept saying, I'm vicious. I'll eat your babies. He said that he had made a speech like that one time.
He wasn't always like that. Think
Uh-huh.
about it. He got that way. Don't know egotistical dude tell the commentator after a fight that his back is broken. Don't nobody say that. Mike Tyson was fighting for the money. He got out there, he literally had spinal injury from training, and he wasn't supposed to fight, but he fought anyway. He lost the fight. The commentator said, Mike, what was going on in the fight? Why didn't you, you weren't your usual self? Mike simply responded, my back is broken. And dude said, what? It's like, Mike, if your back is broken, how are you standing here? What do you mean? How's your back broken? He said it's spinal. I was cracking up so hard. I had tears in my eyes. I was like, this nigga's back was broken and he fought anyway? Because the fans wanted it, man. That's a humble dude, bro. Just trying to show out for the fans because he knew the fans paid their money. And he was willing to expend his body for the fans.
Hey, that's another thing, 15, about the mentality of the people. Like when you ride down the road, most people when they ride down the road and they see a wreck, they slowing down on this side of the interstate to look they want to see body parts, they want to see blood, they want to the media have fucked us up to want to see violence, they want to see
that's crazy, bro.
Devastation. You know what I'm saying? Right.
And I don't like it. I'll be trying to hurry up and get past it, just be wishing everybody's still alive and they are all right, but people still be, they slow down and cause other wrecks because of that. That's ego too. That's ego too, right there. It's ego when you get on the road and you driving 100 miles per hour knowing damn well the speed limit is 70. Why are you going 100? If your car spins out of control and you crash, was that an accident? A person with an ego gonna be like, man, I got into an accident. But the person behind you that seen you spin out of control is going, no, it wasn't. He was going 100 miles per hour. It hit an oil spot. Tires got slick. He hit the brakes, couldn't, because he was coming up under a tractor trailer and crashed. That's ego, man. All you got to do is drive the speed limit. That's all you got to do. Well, they make the cars to go 85 and 120, and so? Why do you think they're doing that? That's a chess move against you, because death is big business in America. That's a chess move.
And insurance.
Yeah, because they know all the egotistical people gonna push it. They know you coming to the hospital. The doctors know. Most of the people up in there got huge egos, and you gonna keep coming to them. But you ain't got an ego bigger than that doctor. That doctor's ego says, they coming, just wait. They'll be here. Okay? Ego plays out in so many different ways, it ain't even funny. It's not even funny. It's ego when daddies have to put their hands on their little boys to teach them a lesson too. Because you know the child got an ego that you got to learn how to subdue, because if you don't, he'll get himself killed behind it. So you got to teach him boundaries. You got to grab him up sometime and say, boy, don't you know I'm your father? He never forgot. He's just trying to be better than dad. You got to put it in check sometime with words, not slaps. Because I'm telling you, the more you hit your child, the more bruises and scars he collects spiritually. Later on down the line, he gonna challenge you. And he beats you. Be saying, that's how you feel about your dad, boy? You're just gonna beat me down like that in front of everybody? Well, he got tired of you choking him up in front of everybody all them years. And the mom gonna be right there going, oh my God, my baby. She ain't worried about her husband. She worried about her son, which is y'all's son that y'all had together, that she egotistically claims is her own. Hey, young elder, 12. How many times has big sister said these is my babies, my daughter, my sons, my this, my that, and you look at going, I was there.
Yeah.
My wife, she often says my son, and I look at her and go, our son? She go, oh yeah, that's right, yeah, ours. And then she smiles and go, baby, you know I didn't mean nothing by that. I'm like, yeah, I know, babe. But the ego just jumps out there. You know, sometimes you open your mouth, your ego does all the speaking. Right back, big brother Greg.
Round back, brother.
There you go. And we going in on how to play chess against yourself. That's what we're going in on, big brother. You got any stories where your ego almost got you hurt or almost made you hurt somebody you want to share?
Oh,
you there, brother?
bro. I'm in the bed right now with the wifey. I can't talk too much.
Ah, there it is. That's one of them scenarios. That's one of them scenarios. I feel you, big brother. Hey, I'm gonna leave that alone. All right, I can keep on coming up.
Hey, once you start, what I learned is, man, because sometimes I used to do this, man. Like once I start, and then I get started, some situations I know, man, what I'm doing is stupid. Like I'm getting hyped, like something like say I'm gonna get ready to fight somebody, gonna get ready to try to. Really, I just want, because like Baba said, man, Nubians don't really want to fight. You just want to scare a guy into leaving you alone, really. Like niggas scaring them into your ego, trying to scare them into, I'm the baddest motherfucker. You shouldn't have fucked with me. I mean, excuse me, but friend, like I'm the baddest guy. Like you shouldn't have. Like sorry, me, I'm over the top. I'm over the top. Like I control it now. I'm over the top though. When I click, I go over the top. Like this is this gonna be the worst. Go ahead.
You gotta tell her you called down the thunder.
The thunder.
All
where
right,
you
buddy.
got it?
Where you got it?
Like, look, I tell you, like, look, I say back in the day, I say, man, when we used to get to it with niggas when I was in the gang and shit, I used to say, man, you must got a death wish fucking with me. You must got a death wish, because I'm the end. I'm the end of the world. I'm the end of the motherfucking world as you know it.
You know it.
I'm the end, nigga. You came to me. You must want to end your life. Because I don't play no games. But I never really started shit. But every time I started something, I noticed that the forces don't be behind me. The good energy or the energy to take control don't be behind me when I started. I started something one time and got my ass kicked. And what I did is this right here, I got my ass kicked good, man. I'm telling you, and I ain't never my ego. I'm gonna tell you, man, this is a good story right here. I was in the 5th grade, and we used to ride the school bus to school. And this new kid came on the bus and sat down in my seat, the seat that I sit down in every day. Oh man, I wrote this guy. Oh, nigga, you sitting in my seat, this and that, this. Oh man, I'm gonna wait till we get out of school. I'm gonna kick your ass, this and that, right? Right. So the dude wasn't saying that, but little did I know, the dude was already training in karate. He was like a fucking green belt or something in karate, and he wore cowboy boots that day. And this dude was like in the 4th grade.
No.
Yeah, he wore cowboy boots.
Not
man, I'm telling you.
He put boots to him.
Yeah, he put the boot to me, bro. Man, look, because I didn't know all the stuff that he know. I just knew how to throw the hands. Because I lived in the projects, we threw hands all the time. But this dude was real good at karate. I ain't know it. See, that's what my granddaddy always used to tell me when I was younger. He said, don't go fucking with nobody you don't know. It's static in it. I think there's hot tower phone. All right, I gotta mute you real quick. I think it caused a static hot tower. Hey, my granddaddy used to always tell me, he said, don't go messing with nobody you don't know. Because you don't know what they can have a gun, knife, they could be a killer, he could be a bomb builder to build a bomb and blow you up. He could be crazy. You don't know if you go and mess with somebody you don't know. And I forgot all about that my granddaddy told me. Don't go messing with nobody you don't know, right? So I'm going messing with this dude, not knowing this dude's a damn trained karate guy. He been doing karate since he was 3 years old. And I said, wait till we got the bus. So we got after school, we got off the bus. And man, we started trying to fight. And when I swung at him, I missed. He tripped me on the ground. And once he got me on the ground, he never let me get back up. He just kept putting this boot on. I couldn't get off the ground. So I got my ass kicked by a 4th grader, and I was in the 5th grade, right? So man, then you gotta think about your reputation. That's another thing, your reputation. Now you got your ass kicked by a 4th grader. It don't matter if you knew karate or not. You just got your ass kicked by a nigga that's in the grade younger than you.
Man, bruh, that's why I don't pick fights with homosexuals.
Oh yeah, I done seen
lose. I don't pick fights with women. It's a lose, my G. I'm a man. I can't get whipped by, if I get whipped by a girl, it's gonna ring around the world. If I get whipped by this homosexual dude or girl for trying to check them on their sex, man, I don't know. Niggas gonna have me wanting to blow my own brains out. Like, why did I just should have just left them alone? Cause they'll pull out a blade on, to leave them alone. And some of them trained in MMA, mixed martial arts. So you don't want to be out there tussling and huffing and puffing with some big girl that want to be a dude. And she just as strong as your ass is. That's gonna say a lot about you.
Just like on,
you should have been hitting that gym.
The perfect example is like on Harlem Nights when he accused
perfect example.
Yeah, she come out there, man. That chick said, hey, you hit like a bitch. And she hit him with she punched him with a couple uppercuts. He punched her in the stomach, quick punch her in the stomach. She said, oh yeah. Man, somebody say that after you give all you got. Oh man.
Yeah. Oh man. Hey, yeah, you 100% right, bro. When you fighting a person that can take a lot of pain, that you in for the long haul. It ain't gonna be no one-hitter quitter there. I told a lot of niggas in the streets, what happens when you use your one-hitter quitter and they don't quit? Now, your best Sunday's punch The one you lean all the way to the ground and get all the earth energy, and you done brought it up and slid it across their face. Crack! And they sitting there now, they just getting ready, they just getting warmed up on your ass. And you know damn well you ain't done no jogging. You ain't been running. You ain't done no push-ups. You ain't been hitting the gym. You ain't lifted no weights. You drinking beers and smoking blunts every day. You ain't ready for that whipping. They getting ready to pick you up and slam you right on your head. You might get kicked in your balls that day. You wasn't ready for that because you had the one-hitter quitter. 9 times out of 10, when a dude tell me that, I know he just be sneaking people. I got that one-hitter quitter. I'm like, who you hitting? Somebody that ain't looking? You got to be sneak attacking people to have a one-hitter quitter, man. Because if you hit somebody and they see it coming, they can brace for it. If you knock them out and they brace for it, then you do have the one-hitter quitter. You got George Foreman power, Mike Tyson power, you know. You got Tommy Hearns power. You got power like that. But if you don't be running around telling people you got the one-hitter quitter and you know damn well you don't. Just because you done fought a couple people that didn't want to fight and they quit after you hit them, don't mean you're going to run into that person that likes to fight and make them quit. You ain't going to make them quit. They just getting warmed up. There's a movie, one of my favorite Brad Pitt movies is called Snatch. You ever seen Snatch?
No, I ain't seen that yet. It's on Netflix.
It might be. It
Yeah, I'm
might
gonna
be
go.
on
I might
Netflix.
try to watch it tonight.
That might be on YouTube. Snatch.
Okay, yeah, I got YouTube. I'm gonna go check it out, see if I can find it tonight. Once I get through watching that Bobby Johnson.
Brad Pitt had the one-hitter quitter.
Hey, you know something too? I was just thinking about it, man. In that series of Bobby Johnson, it's a lot of ego up in that joint, man. I'm big as him and that dude Chin. They ego just won't let them give they just going back and forth. The ego crazy up in there.
And if you about a boss and you got a huge ego, which most bosses do, leaders don't really carry no ego. You know, leaders like to make everybody else better. Leaders is what Magic Johnson was on the basketball court. Bill Russell, you know, they pass the ball, make everybody else look good. That's a leader. He wants you to look as good as he look. But a boss is saying, "Give me the ball, nigga. You don't know what to do with it." That's ego. And if you got a boss that's in charge of a whole team of players, they can get everybody in that team hurt. Everybody. So that's what we dealing with on them shows like that. You know, Bumpy Johnson was a boss. Old boy, the Italian dude he was up against, he was a boss. You know,
Yeah,
Dutch Schultz. You know, these
Dutch Schultz. That's like that's why he went to prison. Dutch Schultz. He was like the first type of Italian back in the day. And, you know, they didn't even have my bad for cutting in, but they didn't even have that structure, that family structure that they had. I think Lucky Luciano was the first to set it up, but they went him and the Queen. They went against Dutch Schultz back in like the 1930s, I think, and they ended up getting rid of Dutch Schultz eventually. Yeah, but like I say, man, Michael Jordan had ego. His ego was big, man. You know, but like that's what I'm gonna ask you, 15. What is the good? How do you utilize your ego in a good way? You know what I'm saying? Because we talk about all the things your ego can take your ass out fast. Like my brother, you said, don't let your ego play you off the street. So what's the good side? How can you use your ego for a good things? Go ahead.
Well, the good side of it is to say to yourself, like that one brother asked earlier, you know, how you help wake people up. That's a good side of it. You really are trying to be a hero when you try to help people, but everybody doesn't want to be helped. So, you know, egotistically, you got what it takes to help them. So you have to look for those people that really need help and not want it. You give them what they need, and then you get on up out of there. It's your ego when you give a bum $5, $10, you know, 20. You looking out for them that day, but it was your ego that made you just give them $20 instead of saying, "Hey man, you want to come live with me?" A leader would take him and say, "Hey man, you want to come live with me? I got a basement. You can live there for free till you get on your feet." That's what a leader would do. But a leader also gonna tell that homeless man, if you act up in any kind of way, you got to go. You can't stay. So you can use your ego to help. It's your ego that steps in when you're defending your wife and children and somebody tries to come in the house and blow everybody away for the money you got in the safe. Your ego is being used in a good manner that day, in a positive manner. You know, if you don't think in terms of good and bad anyway, like I don't, then you'll use wisdom when you use your ego, so that your ego only surfaces and comes out when necessary. You're not just throwing it up in people's faces. You use your 9 ether intelligence and not your 6 ether intelligence. The 9 ether intelligence will teach you in various ways where you can help people, and you're not cocky about it. But it's your ego when you say, I want to be the best me I can be. That's a good part of your ego. I want to help as many people as I can help. That's good ego right there, right? That's good pride. Somebody passes out, you do the Heimlich maneuver on them, and you didn't ask that person's permission, you just did it. Well, it was your ego. You saved a life. You had great intentions. That person could still sue you. You could be a person that is a hero, but you got herpes. Now you done Heimlich and you done mouth-to-mouth resuscitation and gave that person herpes. You kept them alive, you saved their life, but you gave them herpes. They're gonna sue you for that. Your ego was being used in the right way, but you should have asked. They teach you that in the medical field. They taught me that. You can't just give somebody CPR. You got to ask. If you can't just give a person a Heimlich, you got to ask. You got to say, is it all right if I help you? I'm a trained professional. They don't have to say yes. They can nod yes. And they in panic, they're going to say yes anyway. But see, when they do then, they can't sue you. See, yeah, that's ego as well, but you're using it to protect yourself and help at the same time. That's wisdom and ego working together. If you say, man, everybody move out the way, y'all know what y'all doing, let me at him. You get to him and you help him, and you done hurt him too at the same time. Ego, that's you thinking that you the boss. I'm the boss. You don't want to always be the boss. You want to be a leader. You want to teach people how to do CPR. You want to teach people how to do the Heimlich maneuver to save lives. And then you also want to teach them the proper etiquette behind doing so. You know, your ego works on Valentine's Day when you buy your woman a box of chocolates and some flowers and hope that you get some sex later on that evening. You done took her out to a daggone expensive restaurant. That's ego. And it's her ego also to expect you to do so and be mad at you when you don't. That's ego as well. Expectations is egotistical. People expect for Jesus to come back and save them. That's ego. Whenever a woman tells you she's married to Jesus and that trumps all men on the planet, how can a man compete against a non-tangible thing? How? That's like a woman saying, I'm married to the sun. And if you can't be the sun, then you might as well keep it stepping, nigga. That's ego, but that's being ego lead destructive. That's egotistically destructive. You want to be egotistically productive, produce. It's a man's confidence and ego when he draws. Sorry, I just hold on. I was just receiving a call. Young Elder, can you send the link to Unc, Brother Pat?
I sent it to Uncle already. Let me
I
send
don't
it
know
to him
why.
again.
Why is he trying to call me?
Yeah, I sent
We
it
in the
to. I
middle of
sent him the
perform.
link already. Yeah, I sent it to him at 12:20. Let me send it to him again though.
All right. Yeah, if you send it to him at 12:20, he might have been at work.
Yeah, he
So,
probably didn't see it. Okay, I'm sending it. I just sent it to him again.
all right.
For
Thank
tell him
you
we
for
live.
that.
We
Appreciate
live
you.
right now.
It's egotistical. You know, I was just explaining for the Valentine's Day holidays. It's egotistical for the parents to go out and buy a bunch of gifts for the children, and you telling them it's Santa Claus. You know, ain't no such thing as Santa Claus. Why would you keep lying to your baby? Then you telling them that if they don't do good, Santa Claus gonna put coal in the stocking. Those are lies. It's egotistical for you to want to fool your baby for so long. My dad told me Santa Claus didn't exist when I was 6 years old. Me and my brother jumped on my dad and wrestled him down to the ground. He let us do it, of course. You know, he could have beat the brakes off of us, but he let us do it. Man, I was jumping on my dad's back with both feet, like I was coming off the top ropes, like Jimmy Fly Snooker or somebody, Iron Sheik or Macho Man Randy Savage, because I was upset. My ego as a 6-year-old was going, Santa Claus is real. Egos make a person lie to you for no daggone reason at all. None. Just to see if you'll fall for the lie. Let me see how dumb this nigga is. Let me say this to him real quick. That's your ego. And the person could be faking like they stupid the whole time and really be way smarter than you. Because they don't have the same ego you got. Every police officer that I've ever met, as soon as he puts the badge on and he's wearing his uniform, his ego goes up to 10,000. Every military officer I've ever said, thank you for your service to, and I really appreciate your service. But you don't have to wear that uniform in public, do you? Are you allowed to wear plain clothes and still be considered an officer? I'm sure. But to tell somebody, hey man, I'm an officer, hey, your ego is saying that, because what am I supposed to do? Get on my knees and be afraid of you now? It's egotistical for me to run around telling people I used to box. I boxed for, 12 years. I know some things. That's ego, right? But it's egotistically good if I use my boxing skills to save a life. Some woman is getting raped behind the club. I'll pull up and knock 2 dudes out. Save her with no expectations of getting anything from her. Just saving her. Like Bruce Leroy. Bruce Leroy is a prime example of a good ego.
Facts.
Prime example. He didn't want anything from Laura. She came with her ego, tried to make him her bodyguard. That nigga wasn't trying to hear none of it. His granddad, his dad's pizza shop just got smashed by the dude that had the biggest ego in Harlem. The Shogun of Harlem. Show Nuff had a huge ego. And he got his mastery first. Make no mistake about it. He had a glow before Bruce Leroy did. Think about that. So some people with huge egos can reach their glow first because they ain't afraid to glow. They ain't afraid to do what they know how to do. And what Show Enough know how to do was kick ass. Remember? Eddie Arcadian came to him with a briefcase full of money. Now tell me this ain't ego. He said, I'll pay you to gladly destroy Bruce Leroy. And he shut the briefcase on old boy's thumbs and said, keep your money. I gladly whip his ass. You just tell me the designated time and place. Oh, that's ego for your ass. That's ego. Good ego is when Bruce Leroy's little brother tried to step up to Show Enough in them when they was ramshacking his pop's store. And they dumped him in a trash can full of pasta and spaghetti. That dude sacrificed himself. Good ego is sacrificial.
Hey, you forgot one more with the little brother. He tried to get Laura when she got grabbed.
Yeah, he sure did.
Get your hands off my woman.
They tied his ass up. Yeah. Win, lose, or draw, he was egotistical and prideful about what he just was going to sacrifice himself, man. There's a lot of us like that. You know, a lot of us on this line right now are very sacrificial egos. We'll hurt ourselves to help many. We'll put ourselves out there to help a whole lot of people. That's a good part of the ego. You know, defending, protecting. But to just be an attacker, a taker, a raper, a getter, you know, some people be like, oh, I'm a go-getter. It depends on what you're going and getting. You know what I mean? I know dudes that got plenty of money and all they do is hit licks. They just rob people. I keep my eye on them. They my family. Some of them my family members. You know, I just keep my eye on them. Like, nigga, don't come by. Look, I love you, cuz. I'll see you at the family reunion, but you're not allowed over my house, cuz I know you hard-headed. I don't like when people bring people I don't know to my house, and that's the first time I'm meeting you. And you walking in my house with two goons, and I don't know who these niggas is, and you going, oh, they cool, they with me. Nigga, that I don't know these dudes. If we get mad at each other in my house right now and I kick them out, they know where I live. Is you even thinking? They can come hit me 10 times over. I don't know where they live at, cuz. Don't do that to me, man. I had to tell plenty of family members, I don't roll like that. That's my ego protecting my house. I have to let family members know. It doesn't mean I don't love you, cuz. It means I'm intelligently protecting my house with wisdom. If I let you be all braggadocio and boastful about you and your goons, next thing you know, you could fall out with them goons. You could do something to them and they'll come hit my house because they know I'm your cousin. You see, come in my house and kidnap me, my wife and my children, and they got me all tied up. Then they call you on the phone and say, we got your family, nigga. That is what a bad ego will lead to. A good ego will stop all of that. A good ego will step up to a bad ego and tell the bad ego to sit down somewhere. You hurting people. Stop hurting people. I had a good ego when I was trying to tell people to leave Oso Ice. That was good. That was part of a good ego. Because what I thought was going down was painful. People was getting hurt. Now, was they getting hurt physically? Mainly spiritually. When if Unc get on the line, he'll tell you some people got hurt physically. So when he get on, hold on. Hey there, Unc, what's up, Route
Yeah, Unc
Back?
on
You
right
there?
now.
Unc, you want to tell them real quick? You ain't got to mention no names, but you can tell them if you like how you had old boy down there. You was helping him out, and he went out in public somewhere, made a bad deal, and got somebody shot, and then got his ass out of town. You there?
He might be on the phone. They might have called him. Somebody might have called him right when he got on. Hey, I'm gonna tell you,
okay.
man, when you can't, I'm gonna tell you how you know you got your ego, because this nigga got the biggest ego I ever came in contact with. When you can't apologize, even when you know you wrong, 10 times over, and you can't say I'm sorry or that's an ego you can't man, because you know the Luciferians, they can't bow. They can't come and say, you know what, I'm sorry. They can't do it. It's gonna go against. That's so big. That ego is just, man, that's a big ass ego. You can't say you sorry, bro. Or you apologize, or man, my bad. Or, a nigga with a big ego is the type of nigga that'll walk in the store, bump you, and don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. All right, nigga, what you gonna do? Niggas like that. If you can't come, if you did something wrong to somebody and you can't say you sorry, man, that's an ego. Your ego is off the damn charts. On the top scale of one, off the charts, man. You can't say you sorry, man. After you fuck this person over, excuse my French. After you done this woman like this, man, a woman that don't got not mentally all the way there, and you dog her out, and you can't say you sorry. Oh, get her off the phone. Cut off. Shut up. Nigga like that, man. I don't want to be around you, bro, because I'll fuck around. But my ego will have you hurt you, man. My ego will make me hurt you, man.
Man, let me tell you, I got to add to that. I got to add to that. I was doing the brothers' videos and putting them out on YouTube on the channel. I even named He asked me to name my YouTube channel Altune Ray, the Real Messiah. Is that not ego? I did it for him humbly. Then I put the videos out as Quebesanuf Presents Altune Ray, the Real Messiah. That nigga called me up. This when I got upset, right? This when I got mad at him the first time. And then he ended up giving me that hint about, me being older than Deity Happy, right? But he said, it's misleading. I was like, what's misleading? He said, the videos. I told 2 young ladies to go check out my channel. And I'm like, nigga, I'm thinking to myself, nigga, it ain't your channel, bro. It's my channel. I'm supporting you, right? But I kept my mouth shut on that. I just kept that in. And he said, it's misleading. I said, how so? He said, well, one of the young ladies went looking for Arthur Ray, the Real Messiah, couldn't find it, and they couldn't find the video. And I was like, oh, okay. That's because it's not entitled Altune Ray, the Real Messiah. It's entitled Quebesanuf Presents Altune Ray, the Real Messiah. That's what it's entitled. Tell her that. And then she can go to the channel. He said, oh, no, I need you to change it. I paused, man, for about 30 seconds. I ain't say nothing. I was just thinking to myself, I had a whole argument in my head going on. I was like, what? Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, this nigga just told me to change the title so 2 women seduce can find it. And then I came back after I took a deep breath. I said, all right, I'll change it. That's a huge ego. That is a huge ego, bro. That was almost the straw that broke the camel's back then, man. I'm trying to tell you. Amongst other things that he got away with, uh, getting Brother Hightower. He had us bothering Brother Hightower for damn near a year and a half over a van that the good brother said he was going to give as a donation to him, so he can take his ministry on the road and live in the van if he needed to. He wouldn't have no more homeless problems, And as soon as he got the van, no, he didn't even. We didn't even know the van didn't have no tags or nothing on it. So he was trying to get. I was volunteering, myself to go get it. I was gonna go get the van, drive it down there to him where he was, and I was gonna have another brother, a good brother, roll with me. We was gonna do it together. And Hightower saved me, and he said, the van ain't got no tags or nothing on it, right? I was like, what? I said, man, I could lose my license doing this, right? This dude still tried to persuade me to go get the van without tags on it. That's a huge deal. Now, had I been dumb enough to do it, I'd have lost my life, my family. Then I'd have been thinking it was all worth it because he's the real Messiah and he gonna save the day. That nigga know he ain't saving nobody, bruh. Everybody that fall for that dude's shenanigans, it's your own ego because you think that you cool with Jesus. Oh, I'm Jesus. I got Jesus on speed dial. I can call him up right now. You want to see? Because he the only crazy nutbag on the planet that'll claim that status. Knowing damn well it's like the young gunner said, it's astrological. The stories about Yahshua or Jesus is about the sun. So for us to even go there, and we know they're plagiarized stories from horrors. So for us to even go there, we know we got to be fools. And he makes you feel good about being a fool. He'll give you high rank and everything. It depends on how submissive you are to him. That dude's ego is way bigger than Michael Jordan's. It's way bigger than Prince's and Michael Jackson's, Mike Tyson's, and any other Mike out there with an ego. Craziness. Once you give me some money, it's mine. Don't be asking what I'm doing with the money you gave me after you give it to me. It belongs to me, damn it. It's mine. Sound like a big child.
Hey, I'm about to get ready to get off, man. We're gonna come back tomorrow though. We're gonna do Sunday through Thursdays every night at 6:30. If that's cool with y'all. Cause I'm gonna chill with my wife because she on vacation this week, and I'm gonna watch a movie with her. Yeah, but this right here, hey, you touched on that ego, man, because I need this class too, man, because my ego, I got to get my ego lined out too, man, because like I got way better over time, but I still got those little parts where I like I just say, man, you know, because being there, I'm a student of the master teacher. We got to we royalty, right? We got a reason to have so big an ego because we royalty, right? And because we students of the master teacher, we was taught by Tahuti, the most, you know, we know a lot of shit. We know a lot of shit, you know what I'm saying, based on what Bible taught us over the years and over the years of studying and doing our own studying. We way ahead of advance as far as knowledge and consciousness for a lot of people, even the people that be on the other brother channel, Sonetta, where it's a lot of people that come on there, they still arguing over religion. We know the game now, right? They still arguing over Hebrews and Christianity. Like, man, I wouldn't even argue with nobody over religion, bro. It ain't gonna happen no more for me.
Captain Tazariak has a huge ego.
Yeah, General Johanna, and shout out to brother General Johanna. Yeah,
all of them brothers do. They stick together.
Them brothers, 400 pounds brothers, man, riding around. I wonder what them boys be eating every day. Them Hebrew boys, man. Them dudes right there. That boy must be eating like, hey, them boys really look like Vikings. To me, they look like some Vikings. Like they be eating. It's like they be eating evil time, big ass turkey legs and shit. I'm telling you, man, them niggas, man.
Hey,
like they even talk like it. He even talk like
keeping cats out of prison. More power to him, man.
Yeah. Hey, look, that's why I said if I was a Hebrew, I'd be part of ISUPK because I like the way them brothers move. You know what I'm saying? How they militant, they stick together, and they stick with what they stand on, what they believe. You know what I'm saying? Them brothers don't sway. They go out to anybody. They'll defend their shit from anybody. So I like them. That's like the best Hebrew group to me, as far as you know, the Hebrew groups that I be just watching. You know what I'm saying? But like them brothers now, they down here. They be on the corner. They're in front of Circle K, right? And they be out there. I be like, man. Hey, look, they be trying to when they see me, they be like, something about this dude. Let's get him. And I get in my car fast as I can. Get the hell out of there, man. I don't want to get into an altercation with you niggas because if you beat them, you ain't gonna be able to beat them. When they got that loudspeaker, they gonna try to overtalk. They ain't gonna let you get your shit off on them.
Now think about how egotistical that is.
Yeah.
To be out there with a goddamn loudspeaker and a microphone yelling at people that's living their everyday lives. You yelling at people every day about the Bible like niggas is brand new to it. And all you telling people is everybody's stupid. They don't know what the Bible means. So we're going to teach them on the street. We're going to read it to them. Nigga, that's ego, bro.
Yeah.
Go ahead, young girl. I'm sorry, man.
No, you good. Hey, look, like, so like them people that the Bible make you real ego trip if you really, once you get that Hebrew shit, man, them niggas like gangster Christians to me, man. They like gangster Christians.
Gangster Christians, for
sure. They still talk about Jesus. They still believe in Jesus. The real Hebrews don't believe in Jesus. Hey, shout out to my Hebrew brothers, man. Don't fit. But damn, man. Go ahead. What'd you say?
I said we having a good laugh. Forgive us.
Yeah, man. They still like the Hebrew brothers, still our brothers, and like I say, the Nation of Islam, all those people brothers that's in their religion, they're still doing something for the people. They some of those groups are still doing good things for the people. So shout out those brothers for doing those good things. But don't attack brothers like me. And you know, because I'm gonna take off running. I'm gonna take off running for you, bro. I can't sit there and fight with you and wrestle you on the ground mentally over some shit that don't even exist, bro, or make sense.
I ain't finna do it, bro.
Nah, because some of those stories are real stories and that had real people. It just all plagiarized and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like the Moses story is really talking about Thutmose when he had his pharaoh. Pharaoh used to have a magician, and the magician ain't nothing but like a doctor. Back then they didn't call them doctors; they call them magicians or alchemists, right? So the president ride with a alchemist, magician. They call them doctors, right? Nowadays, so it's stuff you can, if you or advisors, right? Or advisors. So it's stuff you can make sense of if you do your research and you study, you can see where the correlations is at. But don't force, when you forcing anything on anybody, that's an automatic red flag. When you gotta force your shit on niggas, why can't I just believe it just based off what you're saying? Why you gotta force it on to me? Anybody coming to force anything onto you, it's an automatic ego, bro. It's automatic ego when you try to force something on me. So yeah, so man, we might need to come back just on the ego, just talk about ego.
Can I close out with
go ahead, close out, bro.
One thing. I'm gonna let you close out. I just want to say this before we go. When you get out your bed every day, just think, I want to get back in my bed. Yeah. So I can't let anybody out there in the world get in my head. Think about that. Take those jewels of wisdom with you everywhere you go. I want to get back in my bed with my wife tonight. So don't let no nigga or no whatever name you want to call Caucasians, crackers, don't let no Asians, don't let no Mexicans, don't let nobody get you out of yourself to the point to where you don't return home. That's all. Thank you, brother.
Hey, we want to thank y'all for tuning in tonight. We're gonna be back tomorrow at the same time. We're gonna me and 15 probably gonna talk tomorrow earlier. We're gonna come up with another topic. So we're dropping some stuff that you can use. We're giving you news you can use in this day and time that you can apply to your life right now that you can apply. And the ego is, this right here was a good one, man, 15, because the ego is a big thing, even for me. You know what I'm saying? My ego be like I calm down a lot, but like I say, man, like dealing with my family, the immediate family, like my wife and everything. Being that my wife was a Hebrew, but she said she changed her religion the other day to plant. She's just a planter now. My brother Pariel came in late.
A botanist.
Yeah, she's a botanist now. That's her new religion, plants. She got a whole bunch of plants. I may show y'all these one day when we on the Zoom, I'll go out there and show the plants or whatever. Right there, she got blueberry trees, watermelon, peppermint, whole bunch of shit like garlic, whole bunch of stuff she planted. So
that's real deal right there.
Yeah, she got everything, man. It's like about 40 plants outside right now that I'm about to get ready to put in the ground.
And tell her I said thank you for being about that plant life.
Oh yeah, that's what she on now. Her new religion is plants. She a plant being. My wife always been a plant, but she said that's her new religion. She ain't said she a Hebrew no more. Cause I listen to them Jordan Maxwell tapes. Start where he broke all that stuff down. Hey, you got, like I said, okay, yeah. In the descriptions, we already got the links. If you want to send 15 a cash app for dropping the signs tonight, Shining Brave 1. You can send them a donation. We got the links in the description. And if you want to send me a donation, just cash out the Young Elder. But we need all support we could get because we're doing this out of the love and kindness of our heart. And we don't really care if you don't donate us or not, but I mean it would help. What else I'm gonna say? Oh, yeah, if you want to get the books, we still got the books, $50 donation. Just send it to my PayPal or Cash App. That's in the links too. And I'll send your books ASAP through PDF form. What else? I want to shout out to all the elders that came to kick it with us tonight. Right. And so I know it's like late on the East Coast, like 11 o'clock in Atlanta, where most of the brothers is at. So we're gonna let you cut out, and I'm gonna go hang out with my wife for like she's gonna probably be up a little later tonight because she ain't gotta go to work tomorrow. We're probably gonna finish watching that Bumpy, and hey man, we appreciate you coming out.
Young Elder.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Please check out Sherlock Holmes Game of Shadows.
Yeah, that new one. Look, I'm gonna go check that out. Look, I might get a chance to watch it tomorrow when I get up. If I don't finish the Bumpy.
When you do, you're gonna call me immediately and be like, man, that was the sickest chess playing game I ever seen in my life.
Yeah. I gotta watch that. Matter of fact, you maybe want to go watch it instead of watching the Bumpy. I can watch Bumpy. But I think I rented the Bumpy, the season 2. I rented it on YouTube, so I think I only got like a couple days to watch it. But I'm definitely gonna watch that Sherlock Holmes. But they don't got season 2 on Netflix. They only got season 1. But they got a whole nother season, man. You watch that Bumpy on the YouTube, man. It got a whole nother season, and it really goes into detail, man. On the next season, how Malcolm X got killed. See, I ain't just watching this shit just to watch it for entertainment. I'm watching it because I'm gonna put this shit together with Doug Shields and Stephanie Sinclair and Bumpy and the mob, 5 families, all that. I'm putting it together to see how, okay, we was running this shit. We was doing this. I'm putting it all together. So everything I watch is always for me to do study on it to tie this shit in, because they really be telling you some truth in these movies to move you and me, right?
Art imitates life.
So yeah, man, Suge, Hotel, to everybody that was tuned in. Like I said, we're gonna be back tomorrow. Hit you again, right? Every night we're trying to hit you Sunday through Thursday, right? We take Friday and Saturday off and relax with our family. So hey, man, stay with us. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. The channel, we growing the channel so we can try to reach you reach, I teach. Well, however 15 said, you teach, you reach, I teach. So subscribe, hit that bell, share it on your Facebook, share it on your Instagram. Shout out to Young Elder on every channel so we can blow up. Shout out to 15 so we can blow up, man. Raziel. Shout out to 12 High Tower. Oparia came in a little late. Maybe he can go back and watch it when we close it out. So we love y'all. Peace.